All right, ladies and germs, it's time for the late night boxing talks. I don't want to be on too long. I don't really want this one to be like a 2 hour boxing talks. I'd prefer to keep this one at an hour or just under 2 hours. Very good weekend of fights. Virgil Ortiz looked sensational. I recapped his performance in the weekend recap for those that want to, go over my thoughts over all the fights that we took in this weekend, the Matchroom show, the Golden Boy show. I've already done the recap. This live is more about, the ongoing Virgil Ortiz versus Jaron Bootsenis conversation and how that's really a exercise in futility. Y'all give me a second. I just realized I left the movie playing in the other room. Give me a second. But Jay, it's a lot of people talking about that fight, and it's like, what is it about people talking about shit that is not about to happen? Jaron Bootsenis and Virgil Ortiz is not about to happen. Feel me? Like that shit is not rocking. It's not going to happen. I don't even know why people. Y'all might as well be talking about this shit. Y'all might as well be talking about this shit. This fight, like that fight, is another fight that ain't about to happen. It's not about to happen. It's not going down. As much as I would like for Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Bootsenis to lock horns because they are two bright up-and-comers, and that's how they do it in other parts of the world. The unbeaten fighters face the unbeaten fighters even when they are blue-chip prospects. They put them in the ring with each other. That's how they do it in the UK, and it's a system that more or less works. When Lawrence Okolie fought Isaac Chamberlain, when Daniel Dubois fought Joe Joyce, when Anthony Joshua fought Dillian White, it makes for great fights, and it's like a necessary process. But here in America, they don't really do it that way, to where they put the unbeaten prospect, the blue chip unbeaten prospect, versus the other blue chip unbeaten prospect, much less when the fighters fight on different sides of the street. A lot of times when I talk about Jaron Bootsenis and his situation, I still think that people don't realize the gravity of it, that he's a talented guy. I want to see this fighter fight often, that even if you can't get the big names, I feel like he should be fighting 3 times a year. That would benefit him so that he can build a buzz organically, so that even if he doesn't get the huge names or the big fights, you see him often enough that it creates a palpable buzz. But the way that things are going down, and because he's exclusive to Showtime, it's not encouraging. I don't know if he's going to fight again this year. I saw a tweet from Steve Kim, shout out to Steve Kim, that said something along the lines of that he may not fight again this year. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if Showtime's going to give him another date or not. I would prefer that they did, but we'll see. Because if they do get him another date, okay, who's he going to fight? How many names are out there that make for an interesting situation for Jaron Bootsenis? The only name that I can think of that makes for a good little fight is Radzev Bhutai. I could go for Jaron Ennis versus Radzev Bhutai. We saw Radzev Bhutai in there with Stanionis in his last fight. If he were to take on Jaron Ennis, that would be for a mandatory position by way of the IBF. I think that's a good fight. I think that's an opportunity for Jaron to make a statement, because Radzev Bhutai, we saw what he did to Jamal James. We saw his fight with Eimantas Stanionis. We know he's a capable fighter. We know he's a volume puncher. We know he's crafty, and he sometimes switch hits. Makes for a great fight. And that's one of the only interesting, intriguing situations I could think of devoid of a Keith Thurman fight, because most of us don't think he's going to be able to get a guy like Keith in the ring, even though by all rights, that's the fight that he should be having. He's a world-class contender. He is world level. He just needs a big name fight. And a guy like Keith, he's more receptive to Jake Paul. He's more receptive to Danny Garcia in a rematch. It's ridiculous. I was Goody Country, Boxer, Michael, XM. If Boots doesn't fight again this year, he needs to leave Showtime. Forget about I agree with that wholeheartedly. Because the argument that we heard for the longest time is that Crawford was on the wrong side of the street to get certain names, that Crawford was on the wrong side of the street to get certain fights. Well, Jaron Ennis fights on the same platform as a lot of PBC fighters. Why doesn't he have access to them? The most they could conjure up for him was Thomas Dulorme and Sergey Lipinets, you know? And these conversations always start whenever Virgil Ortiz fights. Whenever Virgil fights, that's when these conversations start, because people want to fan the flame for a rivalry that may not materialize in anything. Guys like to act stupid, basically, like they don't know any better, that they're on different sides of the street, bro. Jaron Ennis's handlers are not about to ship him off to DAZN, and Virgil Ortiz's handlers are not about to ship him off to Showtime. So what are we talking about, you know? It's a massive blunder to have, yeah, but that's what's going on, bro. That's what's going on. To me, and I say the same thing about Yanni Beck, that if you can't get a big name, the next best thing to build a buzz organically is to fight often. You know, fight maybe 3-4 times a year if you can, even though that's kind of a fantasy these days. But if you can fight 2 to 3 times a year, fight often, rack up those highlights, rack up those highlight reels, you know, add something to them every single time, so that even if you don't get the buzz of fighting a big name, you still build a buzz on a smaller scale for just being very active. We talking about you stupid. You know what I mean? It's simple, because when it's you know, if you got a fighter that he fights early in the year, like say the first quarter, and you don't see them in the middle, you don't see them in the second quarter, you don't see them in the third quarter, you don't see them till much later on in the year, it's just not good, bro. And a lot of these guys don't have anywhere near a big enough name to be on a schedule like that. You need to fight often. The only guys who really should be reserved to fighting 2 times a year are guys who fight in big fights. Because you're in big fights, you can afford to do that. Financially, you can afford to do that. Marquee-wise, you can afford to do that, because when you do fight, it's a big fight. But we really are talking about guys like Anthony Joshua, Canelo Alvarez, maybe Errol Spence Jr. to some degree, because when he fights, people do talk about it. To some degree, they do. And these are the kind of guys that really should be reserved to fighting just 2 times a year, if that's what they want. But, you know, a guy like Thurman, bro, you trying to rebuild your career. You know, we should be hearing about another fight that you're about to have. And the summer is almost over. You know, summer is all but over. So if this guy is going to fight again this year, it's probably going to be in the fall or the winter months, limiting his schedule of activity to 2 fights a year. Bro, you're not popping like that to where you could only fight 2 times a year. You're not you're not. What you should do is, okay, you had a gimme fight with Mario Barrios. For the summer, they should have put you in something big. I don't give a fuck what it was. They should have put you in something big, and then you cap off the year with a gimme fight, just to get out there, let people see you, remind people what you could do, remind people who you are. But no, you know, motherfuckers don't want to get out there, whether it's a scarcity of fight dates or unwillingness to travel, because he was offered a Conor Benn fight. He was offered that. And you see what he's talking about. He ain't talking about Conor Benn. He ain't talking about Jaron Bootsenis. He ain't talking about Virgil Ortiz. He talking about Jake Paul and Danny Garcia. Nobody want to see that shit. Who want to see that shit? Think if they traveled more, they'd get more dates. I agree with you 100%, Grim Reaper, which addresses the point that I was trying to make about Keith. That Keith was offered a Conor Benn fight. What are you so busy with that you couldn't take them up on that offer? What are you so busy with? What are you doing aside from interviews where you talk about fighting Jake Paul? It's silliness is what it is. And too many guys think that because they have a little bit of notoriety or a little bit of name value that they can afford to move like the big boys. Fam, you're not one of the big boys. You don't have no belt. Appreciate that, Liam. Did you see Marcos from Fight Hub tweet about Fox being... Yup, I did see that. For those not aware, Marcos Villegas of Fight Hub tweeted that Fox, and I mentioned this in passing in yesterday's live for those that might have missed it, that Marcos Villegas tweeted, the production that goes into a PBC show on Fox is not coming from Fox. Fox is not paying for any of that. All they're doing is giving them a slot. The production, the money for it, is coming directly from the PBC. And what that communicates is that the PBC is Fox is no longer spending money on boxing, and in all likelihood, this will be their last year in the sport of boxing. So any of those fighters that you might have been seeing on Fox the last 2 or 3 years, they're likely going to migrate back over to Showtime, at which point Showtime will have to try and accommodate them as best as they can, even though Showtime don't got dates for everybody. They don't have dates for all these fighters. So to the point that was made earlier that, you know what you could do? You could travel. You know, maybe you fight on a Matchroom show. Maybe you fight on a Top Rank show. Maybe you fight on a Golden Boy show. But that's not how these motherfuckers move. That's not how they do business. So they rather be inactive. Boots needs to leave Showtime because they're going to ruin his career by not making him fight. If Boots is fighting once a year, he's not going to get better than Virgil and Conor, who is fighting 2 and 3 times a year. That's exactly the point that I'm making, that a lot of times, you know, there's excitement about that fighter, and I understand why, because you see the talent and you see the things that you want to see in an unbeaten fighter that is coming through. The problem is the politics. The same politics that many of these guys have been hiding behind could have an adverse effect on Jaron Ennis's career. They could, because how's he supposed to get a big name? How? How's he supposed to get a big fight? I was goody country, was goody Ivo. Y'all know the rules of engagement. Please.
What's good, fellas? What's good, Jules?
Please, for God's sake, do not interrupt each other. I literally get complaints every time I do a live. The morning after, I get complaints. So if somebody's talking, let them talk.
Jules, question. How many complaints and who?
A lot. Believe me, a lot. And the reason I don't show the complaints is because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Now, that being said, you know, you got this Jaron Ennis situation. Whose mic? Oh, God, whose mic is that?
Not mine.
You got this Jaron Ennis situation that he's a talented young boxer. You can see that right away. And you could see that he has the promise that any blue chip prospect has. But how does his situation end? Ivo, what do you see for Jaron Ennis in what remains of 2022? Do we even see this guy fight again?
Sorry, I just woke up, so my voice is a little messed up. But I don't know, man. Who's he gonna fight this year?
I have no idea, bro.
I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, a nobody. Then I don't even count that as a fight. That's just keeping him warm. Like I don't know.
But are they even gonna keep him warm, Ivo?
You know, I don't know, man. I honestly, like, genuinely don't know. I don't see anyone in his life for, like, the remainder of the year, which is very depressing.
It is. It really is.
You know,
it's like you mentioned, man. It's like you mentioned.
Stop interrupting. I just said it. If somebody's talking, don't interrupt them. I get a lot of complaints about this. Now finish up, Ivo.
Like you said, dude, we only got like a couple of weeks left in summer, and then like the fall starts, and then fall, everyone I see, like the months are pretty much packed with fights. So I don't know, man. I don't think he's gonna fight this year, which is very depressing.
Country, do you think he's gonna fight again this year?
I don't, but if he does, it's just gonna be a keep busy or stay active fight. That's it. It's not gonna be anybody of noteworthiness. I think the only fight that he should try to get at this point, because the other ones aren't available, is Keith Thurman. But I see him just taking a keep busy fight.
Chris, I mean, we know what his situation is. Do you see, do you think it's far-fetched that, maybe they get him Keith, or is that just like, no, he's not going to get Keith. And if he doesn't get Keith, what is he going to get?
Oh, man. Well, you may not want to hear this, but there's a guy who's from Minneapolis, kind of tall, lost to Radzev Bhutai. His name is Jamal James.
Oh my God!
But hey, think about it like this: Keith Thurman doesn't. Think about it. Keith Thurman doesn't want to fight him because Keith Thurman has been inactive, injury prone, and true. I think Keith Thurman doesn't just like CJ from Goodfellas Sports said this. I think Keith Thurman doesn't want to fight anymore because I think the time he wanted to get those big fights, Al Heyman stopped him from getting them, or it was just like Floyd didn't want to fight, fight him for whatever reason. Is what it is. Because you did bring up the Maidana thing, which was facts. But to be quite honest with you, Jaron Ennis is going through what? Yeah, whose mic is that?
Not mine.
Not mine.
Okay, but Jaron Ennis is going through what a lot of PBC fighters are going through. They're getting stoned.
He's not a PBC fighter though, bro, and it's like.
But I know, but like PBC Showtime, it's synonymous, and let's really keep it a buck. Unless this guy, if we really keep it, he's not on paper with Al Heyman, but like Showtime really looks like they're in bed with Al Heyman. So for all intents and purposes, so let me finish up my long-winded rant. I don't think he's going to fight anyone of note, and Jaron Ennis really is going to have to take a good hard look at his situation, and I think he has to leave Showtime. To be quite honest with you.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, go ahead.
Does Keith Thurman really want to fight anybody?
I don't think being real with you, country, I really don't think he want to fight nobody. Just to be honest, like
that's my gut feeling. It's like he'll talk a lot, but he don't want to fight nobody because he's not making any efforts.
He acting like if it's not Spence, then he don't want to fight because look, Conor, and before I pass it to Virtuoso, this is what I'm gonna say: the Conor Ben offer, and Conor Ben as a fighter is green enough and beatable enough that he should have took it. Like, is it far-fetched to say that, Thurman might be a step too far for Conor Ben? He might be. He had a tune-up fight. Now, yeah, of course there's going to be people that like Conor's chances because he's young and unbeaten and ambitious and fresh. Whereas Keith is an old boot. He just an old pair of Timberlands at this point. But it's like, damn, my guy, like, you don't even like your chances against Conor Ben? Virtuoso, who would you pick to win that fight?
Between who?
Fucking Conor Ben and Keith Thurman.
Oh, come on, man. I got Conor, man. It's like, keep the one on, man. He's just skating by, man. He just wants something easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. An easy payday. He's not interested in fighting Boots. He don't want no parts of that, man. He wants to fight Danny at 154.
That's a good fight. But I think Besputin, to Liam, to the super chat, shout out to Liam for the super chat. I believe that Alexander Besputin is one of Egas's boys, and I believe that he may still be kind of tenuously associated with Top Rank. I can't lie. That's a really good fight, though. Boots versus Besputin is a good fight. Julio, Thurman is a popular subject because it's like, you're a part of the problem at welterweight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a former champion, so you're the guy that's really supposed to be fighting Conor Ben and Boots to reclaim your spot at the top. These is the people that you're supposed to be fighting, because beating Mario Barrios on points, that don't put you at the top. So with this guy, how he is, and with things for Boots being the way they are, do you think Boots fights again this year?
Unless the mythical Spence Crawford fight gets made, I don't think he fights this year at all. I think he may be on that undercard if that fight fucking happens at some point in this century, but no, I don't think he's going to be a very active fighter for Showtime. And what's actually sad is that he recently, his multi-fight deal that he signed is actually back in March. It's only been a couple months, so if he plans to win a title there, it might take him years. Like, it might be 30 until he fucking wins a world title. If this is the pace that he's going at.
Yeah, because he is IBF mandatory, but they're not ordering it. They're not pressuring Errol, right?
Can I ask you a question, Jules?
Go ahead.
So, this is maybe possible, maybe not. What do you think of possibly Stanionis fight? That'd be a great fight, because I know Stanionis wants to get...
I like that fight, Ivo. I really like that fight, and I actually want him to have that fight, but with the way that things are, it looked like Virgil might get him.
Well, I mean, shit. I know Stanio. I think Ennis said he wanted to get back in the ring by like October or November, and yeah, I know he floated Keith Thurman. But here's the thing: like we pretty much established, Keith Thurman ain't gonna fight, mostly because Keith Thurman is content just holding up a division, and
pretty much.
And Stanionis wouldn't be a bad idea. Real talk, I think that'd be one of the better fights we could see this year, because both are pretty good up and coming.
They are, but this is the thing. In the video that I just uploaded, right? Virgil Ortiz is ranked #1 WBA. Now, the WBA is not ordering Errol to fight Stanionis. I think, like, we can see that they're not ordering him to fight him. It looks like they're giving him time to negotiate with Crawford. So what they might order is Ortiz versus Stanionis. They might order that, and I could go for that. Like, I like that fight just as much as Boots versus Stanionis. But being real, Stanionis is a pro bellum guy. He's not a PBC guy. He's a pro bellum Dick Schaefer guy. So I don't even know that he has to fight on Showtime.
Fuck me. Sorry, excuse my language. Ennis is with Showtime, right? I think we've said that
exclusively.
Okay, so then the easiest fight that could possibly be made is fucking Cody Crowley?
Fuck around.
Oh man.
Like what else does he have? I think that's honestly the easiest fight I could see happening. Like
Country, how do you like Boots versus Radzev Bhutai?
I like that fight. I think it would be pretty good. I mean, I think Boots would win, but I think it would be a good fight.
Chris, your level of excitement for Jaron Bootsenis versus Radzev Bhutai. Yes, we know he lost to Stanionis, but it wasn't in any way, shape, or form a whitewash. He didn't get outclassed. We know he's a tough guy. He's a volume guy. Do you like that fight?
Jaron Ennis, hear me out, guys. I don't want you guys to hear me clearly when I say this. Jaron Ennis will beat the living shit out of Radzev Bhutai. I would not be excited for that fight. I would actually be quite worried for Bhutai. He can do all that switching all he wants. Amantis Stanionis won't fight, Jaron Ennis because he has something to lose. And Jaron Ennis, comparative to Virgil Ortiz, I like Virgil Ortiz. I like what he does. I like what he did to Michael McKinson yesterday. And everything you said about what Virgil Ortiz in that ring is true. But Boots is, I'm telling you, something about that kid, man. He will hurt a lot of these dudes. And like you were saying about, Dillian White against Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker is a better fighter than Dillian White, but Dillian White had more dog. Conor Ben, if you were to ever fight Keith Thurman, he has more dog. He has more dog. So that's why I would say that. But I think the best fight for Boots right now is Amantis Stanionis. And sure, Stanionis is a pro bellum guy, but he seems to me he moves kind of with the PBC because the PBC has a real sweet deal with Stanionis, man. I don't know why it's just like,
I'm gonna tell you what that is, Chris. Remember, Stanionis was supposed to get the Ugas fight. Remember? He's supposed to get Ugas.
And Ugas was complaining like a little bitch.
Exactly. And then in order to satisfy Stanionis and just wanting to get out there and fight because, at minimum, motherfucker, I'm supposed to fight. Can you at least get me a fight? They got him a fight. They got him Bhutai. You know what I mean? That's really what I see in that situation. Like, why this motherfucker fought that fight on the PBC? Well, Pro Bellum ain't got no broadcast partner in America. That's one. Two, the PBC is the ones that had to smooth things over with him. Like, please let Ugas lose the Spence, let him lose the Spence, and we'll get you another fight. And really, to me, they didn't do him any favors because fighting Radzev Bhutai instead of fighting for a major title, that's kind of a raw deal, if you think about it. It's a raw deal.
You know who he should have fought?
Keith
It's
Thurman.
a guy named there's a guy named Julius Castro. You should have fought him.
Oh, yeah, he should have fought me, bro.
Yeah.
You reminded me of what I was saying on Twitter, bro, because this one thing I'm going to say, right? And this might be controversial, right? But see, Black folk in America have needed accurate representation in film. I think that goes without saying. That's actually a real thing. Like, that's real. That's a fucking fact.
Thank you, Jules. Appreciate that.
They have needed representation, and when I see Spanish motherfucker, like, no, it's not the same thing, my guy. Gloria Velez played a cop on TV. So did y'all remember New York Undercover with Malik Yoba and the gay dude from the
Malik Yoba on some wild shit, bro.
He is on some wild shit. I ain't even going front. I thought I was on
Harlem. Facts.
But in other words, it's like, when I see Spanish people complaining, right? That James Franco is about to man. If you don't stop that bullshit, we've had Edward James almost. We got J-Lo. We got Evo Mendez. We good, fam. Like, stop complaining. What are you talking about? We got a lot of good actors out there. Benicio del Toro, Javier Bardem. We got, like, what are you talking about? We're not short of representation in film. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's a fact. But James Franco is a very good actor, but he doesn't look like Fidel Castro. You do.
No, he do with the beard. He do.
No, you do, bro. Like that. As soon as you tagged me in this shit, and I really looked at it, it's like, damn, this motherfucker look like Fidel, bro.
I look like a lot of people because I'm an alien. Like, whenever I channel the thoughts, I look like that person. Like, I could look like Chris Mathias if I felt like it right now if I channel the thoughts.
No, yeah, you can't look like me.
But that's, you know what make me mad about that shit is the virtue signaling. Stop pretending. Just stop. Like, that shit make me so mad, bro. Like,
yo,
it's not an issue to us, B. Stop it,
me, bro. Like, yo, that virtue signaling on any way really bothers me. For black people, from anyone.
They see that there's a movement. They see that there's a movement, right? Or there has been a movement, because for the most part it's worked, you know, and they don't. The reason I know that it's virtue signaling is if your issue is that there are not enough roles for Latin American actors in Hollywood. Hey, here's a newsflash, you fucking dickhead. You don't need more actors. You need more screenwriters, you fucking bozo. Write the fucking movie.
So, Julius,
what I mean, hey, could I interject right quick, fellas?
Yeah, Jake.
What's up, AJ?
What up, y'all? How y'all doing? This reminds me years ago. Anybody remember Tropic Thunder?
I remember Tropic Thunder.
Hilarious movie.
How Robert Downey was in the blackface. That didn't bother me at all. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that shit was funny as hell.
Look, that's why I think, like,
you know what the thing is though, it's a different. Is this what I'm gonna say about what I'm saying, right? See, this is what I'm gonna say, right? People see there are people out there, parasites, for lack of a better word. They see that there's a movement, you know, and they want to come up with the and I even see that in the YTBC. I won't say any names but I don't respect it, to be real with you. If the only kind of content that you can upload is fanning the flame of a racial divide, you're a fucking loser and a hack. That's all I'm gonna say. But in film, we see that, okay, yes, there is a movement and there is a push for adequate and equal representation for all different types of groups. And I get that, but there's never been any shortage of representation for Latinos in film and media. Desi Arnaz, a Cuban, was on TV with a white wife. So don't tell me it's the same problem. No, it's not. Remember I Love Lucy? Lucy ain't home.
Yeah.
So there's no shortage, fam. Like, what are you like? So when I see the virtue signaling, you know what I mean? When I see the virtue signaling, like y'all telling me y'all mad, you ain't got enough going on in your day-to-day comings and goings that you gonna get mad that my man Harry Osborn about to play Castro? What's wrong with that?
Let him shit. I don't care.
Let him.
Yeah, I kind of think like that casting decision is like, I feel like it's beyond parody, because like when it's like America has really portrayed Castro like perfectly. They don't, like, no, Hollywood doesn't. It's not up to Hollywood to portray them like to your, you know, preference. It's just that's just how they are. And if you don't like it, you don't have to fucking watch it.
Exactly. Like when they had there was this big stink. This awful Egyptian God movie with Gerard Butler. Why would you now? My issue.
Oh, yeah.
My issue. Now listen. Let me tell you. My issue with the movie was not that you got Caucasians playing Egyptians. It's not that. Why do you have a Scotsman playing an Egyptian? Like you.
An Egyptian with a Scottish accent.
Jules, you know what other movie really turned heads? What was it called? Exodus, God and Kings, when Christian Bale was.
Believe it or not, I was okay with that just because that's the director's vision. And what see, this is my thing, right? I like Peele. Why do I like Peele? Because Peele is what I was talking about. Instead of waiting for a studio and some producers to give you a role, write the script.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did you guys ever see that movie, The Motorcycle Diaries, about the early life of Che Guevara?
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Oh, that was a done movie. That I forget the name of it.
It is.
I forget the name of the actor, but he was a Latino guy who starred as Chad. Man, if you get the chance, see that movie.
Listen. This is what I'm gonna say right now. You had John Leguizamo, right? This a dude
That's
that
my
played.
God, bro.
Listen, he played a tranny and he played an Italian. Wasn't nobody saying shit about you when you played motherfucking Luigi, and we all know you were
That's right.
Italian.
That's right.
Nobody was not saying nothing to you. You did not see an uproar of Italians saying, "Hey, what the fuck? That should have went to an Italian." You didn't see that, right? So what? So what kind of dick sucking ass shit? You
know, matter of fact, I think John
Leguizamo
should play Christopher Columbus.
Hey, Jules, Drew's asking for a link in the
Fuck
chat.
it.
You know what I mean? Like shit like that make my ass itch. Like, listen, bro, all that doodle butt, crybaby ass shit, nah, fam. Don't do that. Don't do that to us. We don't get down like that. We not with the doodle butt crybaby shit.
That's dick in a booty type stuff, man.
Whoa.
It's too many. Like it's what I see, right? And I hate to broach the subject, but it's the truth. It is a matter of fact that black people are disenfranchised in America. That's the truth. That's a real issue, right? And what I see is people trying to exploit that issue and apply it where it doesn't. But like, bro, you're not disenfranchised in America. You had a face on screen in black and white television, married to a Caucasian woman. Now you show me how many shows had a black man married to a white woman when I Love Lucy was on.
Jules, you got to remember. Sorry to cut you guys off. You and I, but specifically you're very educated and you're very aware of things. So at the end of the day, you're not just going to just allow a lot of shit to slide. So we need more voices like you. We do need more voices like you. That's why your platform is needed, bro. Real talk.
Well, that's why I came to this stupid ass planet, because my superiors told me those fucking humans are stupid. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go over there. I'll talk to you.
It's nonsense though. This whole thing with the representation. If I'm being honest, someone that works in entertainment, we just look weak the more we complain about this shit. We look soft, and from all the disenfranchised communities, you know what? There's always going to be someone disenfranchised. The next empire that takes over 1,000 years from now, someone else is going to be disenfranchised. That's just the way of the fucking world.
That's Maning, this is what I'm going to say, right? Because it's simple. If your issue, and I said this before, I said this years ago, me and my wife were talking about this, that this is the real issue. What you want is more black actors, right? But that's not what you need. What you need is more black screenwriters. What you need is more Antoine Fuquas, more black directors. You don't actually need more actors because there's not that many roles overall. There's not that many roles. So what you need is someone to create the role. You need someone to create the story. Then the roles will appear and they can be filled.
Yep, more Ryan Coogler's as well.
Exactly.
Honestly, it doesn't.
I love Ryan Coogler because he's from the Bay Area like me, but he keeps putting
Michael B in his movies.
But he keeps putting Michael B. He keeps putting Michael B in his movies, and Michael B is atrocious.
You know what? It doesn't help when you got people like Justin Smollett or whatever his name is making stuff up either. You know, like
because that's a separate issue. The whole thing is, look, representation. It's almost like they're trying to put like a quota of who. Like there is no quota, bro. If you are not a part of my vision as a screenwriter, you're not a part of my fucking vision. You don't like it? Write a script. And get the fuck out of my face. Because that's it's me. I'm like, yo, listen, I didn't write this fucking movie for you. I wrote it because I fucking felt like it. And if I want to cast a bag of potatoes and some onions, Fidel, I'm going to do it just to fuck with you.
Just to piss you
Talk
off.
that shit, Jules.
You know, for all the bullshit.
Didn't John Leguizamo's dad say he's not even Puerto Rican?
Hold on, let me say this.
But he Ecuadorian.
Yeah. For all the bullshit as Madea movies this guy put out, Tyler Perry is very successful and he's been able to use that money to build his own studios.
Bang.
That's something you got to respect.
Virgil, you know why that is? Because years ago, when he was trying to pitch all his stories to Hollywood studios, they told him, "Oh, y'all don't do that." So he went to Lionsgate, and the rest is history.
Now listen, my man, that I don't admire a lot of people, being real with you, because I think humans are pieces of shit. I would never want to meet my heroes because I know most people are just pieces of shit, right?
Wow.
Sylvester Stallone is one of my heroes. Why? He wrote Rocky, right? And the studio tried to buy it from him, and they wanted to cast somebody. No, you're not going to cast somebody else as me. This is my shit. I got to play Rocky.
That's right.
That's how you. That's the lesson, and the blueprint has been there. And these bows, like, you don't understand. It's not the studio has to give you a role, or Lionsgate, or Fox, or Parrot. No, you got to write the script, you dumb motherfucker. So if your whole beef is representation in Hollywood, there's not enough people that look like me, write a script then if it matters that much to you. And if you're not about to write a script, here's what you can do. Shut the fuck up.
There's a parallel here that I want to mention. I was going through the history of monogamy. And monogamy came about when the lower weak males couldn't compete against the top males. And that's what Leguizamo and all these guys that sound like you're complaining instead of just do the work. That's
do the work. You've been in the industry long enough. You've been in the industry long enough.
You had an HBO special already, my guy. Just sorry.
My God. How you look like being as successful as you have been and then complaining.
Yo, let me tell you something. John Leguizamo started his career in 1985, bro. And I'm looking at his filmography on Wikipedia. Bro, this guy's been in movies all the way since till now, 2022, bro. In television, he started in 1986 on Miami Vice.
My guy, they gave him a primetime show on Fox in the early 90s. Remember that, Jules?
I remember that shit. That's where I first seen him. And a Dominican cat. El tipo ese que se parece like a caveman.
Yeah.
Ese tipo. Right?
Is it Mambo Mao? What is it?
The dude with the eye, like his eyebrows is mad big, bro. He looked like a caveman from Geico. He got the sullen brow and all of that. I don't know his name, man, but he's a fat dude. He been in everything, bro. Let me read the super chat. Gunna Forever, IQ, who you got on Jojo Diaz versus William Zapata?
Where are you talking about? Luis Guzman?
Luis Guzman. Whatever the fuck he is, he's right? William Zapata off the top of my head, bro, because that dude, Jojo don't got the style for that dude. Like, you gonna do what that dude want you to do, and that dude want to bang. And you like to bang, but you don't hit hard. So I go Will Zapata.
Hey, Jules, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, Albert.
To bring it back somewhat to boxing. So is the Avanesian fight confirmed for this fall with what's his name again?
The EBU shit?
Yeah.
I think it is.
Who's he fighting?
Because I was gonna say if that wasn't confirmed, that would be a pretty good fight for Boots.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
My God. If he hauled tail on Virgil, right, and they was having conversations, right, you think he gonna start a conversation for Boot?
Fair enough.
Nah,
you gotta grasp at some straws, man, especially in his case where he's got no one.
At this point, I would be happy with Ennis versus Bhutai, just because I know Bhutai is a tough, rough bastard. He gonna hit him low, he gonna punch him in the dick, and he gonna make him work. And I'm like, you know what? Bhutai would be Bhutai might give him a better fight than Thurman, because Thurman don't want to fight.
Speaking of Thurman, I don't know if y'all saw it on Twitter, but I've been laughing my ass off about that Beverly Hills Cop with Keith Thurman getting thrown out the hole.
I seen that.
Oh, that shit was hilarious.
That shit had me dying, Jules.
Hey, Jules, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Isn't Jojo Diaz still under in some legal trouble for that alleged pedophilia case, bro?
Yo, I think they made that shit go away, bro. I haven't heard nothing about that shit. The young joint shit, right? The young joint shit?
I didn't forget about that. That pedophile ass motherfucker. Allegedly, though, because
I mean, look. The story was he was sending people pictures of his dick, and they wasn't asking for that shit. And I'm I don't know about y'all. I don't know how y'all get at joints and shit, right? But I was never a dude that sent dick pics. Like, for what? You gonna see my dick when you put it in your mouth? Fuck, I'm gonna send you a picture of the shit for.
I mean, like the joint. Y'all can send me some naked shits if y'all want, but I ain't sending you naked shit to me. Like the fuck.
Yeah, it's not like a titty pic. Like a titty pic is nice, you know. Like a titty pic. Like if you in the middle of World War III and you need to feel better, you could pull out a titty pic and start to feel better. Ain't no bitch out here just gonna pull out a picture of a dick like, oh. Yeah, I'm like, what are you?
I just tagged you in something, Jules. I just tagged you in something. Rick Glazer is such a hater right now.
Oh, I know. I seen his hating ass.
There's no buzz for Joshua Usyk.
Peep how he loved Pro Bellum just because they let him come to a fight for free. And if you don't get yo, shit like that get me so aggy, I almost can't address it because I'm like, fam, who are you trying to kid, bro? There's no buzz for Joshua versus Usyk. There's enough buzz that a couple of Saudis paid $87 million for that fight. Act like you know, motherfucker.
And we're not gonna act like that. That promo video that just dropped last week didn't get everybody all fucking. That's a fuck. This fight's huge, bro. Like, come on, bro.
But see, that's why it makes me mad that I'm like, listen, you claim to know the business, right? Right. So, do you think Saudi Arabian investors would fork over $80 million for a fight with no buzz? Act like you know, motherfucker. Come on now, stop playing. Stop.
Listen, Rick can be a bit of a prick. I didn't understand why he was hating on Claire Cobb's performance yesterday, man. I thought he did okay, man.
Yeah, he did okay. Sugar Ray Cobbs.
Hey, Jules.
Yeah.
Hey, Jules.
Don't say that again, please.
Did you see the latest video of Usyk, man? Looks like he bulked up a bit.
Yeah, it looked like he going for the knockout. That's what
he
it looked like.
He looked in shape, too,
I think it's also,
like,
to let's not forget, like, it's to be able to take the damage. Because Joshua did hit him hard in that first fight. He did get fucked up a little.
Hey, listen, man, I'm just here for whatever happens, bro. I don't even fucking care anymore.
Fight now, man. This fucking fight's gonna be.
But but how you gonna tell the world, like, and you supposed to be somebody that got common sense? How do you tell the world that this fight has no buzz? Oh, that must be why those Saudis paid $80-something million for it, because nobody is buzzing about it. Nobody's gonna watch it. But you gonna pretend that Tyson Fury, that he's it, like, fam, like, come on, B.
Tyson Fury can't even come to this country. So when Bob says he's talking to Usyk's people, where's that fight gonna be?
It must be in the UK because it ain't gonna be here. It must be in the UK.
We all know Rick gonna watch the fight, y'all. So.
And then also, Jules, isn't this Usyk's last fight with Matchroom like options?
It's supposed to be.
And I don't think Eddie would not renegotiate or leave the window open.
I mean, I talked about this, Drew. I did talk about this, that Eddie better not let that man go, and here's why. Even if your cash cow, Anthony Joshua, falls, right? You need control of this division. And the only way you get control of this division is to keep them belts on Matchroom. If you let that man leave, the heavyweight division is gone from you. Matchroom is that's it. You out of heavyweight, bro. But if you offer Usyk something substantial, and you need to offer that man something, because that's 3 of the 4 belts, bro. That's gonna funnel all the content to the zone. That's how I would play it. Like, listen, Usyk, you're not leaving, my guy. A part of the contract is you gotta stay chained under my house, and I only let you out when it's a fight.
And there's a number to where Eddie can make money, but still Usyk get a nice guarantee.
I mean, of course, like, you could offer Usyk $5 million a fight, or 10, even $10 million a fight. Why not?
Anywhere from 7 to 10 is fair market value for him.
Like, at the end, the main thing is this: your broadcast partner is the zone, right? And you want to deliver them content, or the best content that you can. Well, you can't do that if you let Usyk walk, because there goes the heavyweight division. There it fucking goes. Bye.
How much is Usyk getting for this fight?
40 mil.
Fuck me. Jesus.
He might retire.
Yeah.
But that's the AJ.
So if we sign with Matchroom, and he does win, what is the possibility that they're still able to make the fight with Tyson Fury? Because I heard that Bob said that Tyson might be open to that.
Bro, we'll see.
Well,
I saw the tweet. I was saving it for tomorrow, but the most I'm gonna say is Tyson Fury's a bag of cats, bro. We don't know what the fuck he gonna do. We literally don't know.
One video channel said that they were actually in negotiations, Fury and Usyk behind the scenes and stuff. I don't know how true that is.
Well, I saw the tweet. It wasn't negotiations. It's what we already know, that Aegis Climas has a good relationship with Top Rank. He's always had a good relationship. So those conversations probably have happened, but they're not entering into contracts, anything like that.
Yeah, because we could surmise, just okay, Usyk's getting 40 M's for this fight. Aegis is not going to say Usyk wins. Aegis is not going to go over to Bob like, hey, Bob, we'll take what you give us. Like, no, we're going to need at least 25, 30. We might even want to be the A side.
Not even Aegis. Alexander Krasiuk. He drive a hard bargain.
Yes, there you go. They're not
going to have a hard bargain. Like, he's not going to get no shit.
Yeah, they're not going to get Usyk in that ring for under 20.
I'm like, yo, you think that a man that just like, and I know that Usyk is a man of principle. I get that. But I'm just saying that I find it a little hard to believe that they just going to bow down to Fury. You got 3 belts. One, your whole purse bid of $41 million. I'm getting that for this fight. For this, the whole value of your shit, right? That Frank put up. I'm getting that for this fight. Yep. This one fight. I'm not just going to take whatever the fuck you offer. Fuck out my face. Like, nah, fam.
Hey, Julius in chat. Hey, Julius in chat. Let me tell y'all this. I know it looks bleak for Anthony Joshua, man. But if Joshua win, bro, we're going to have to really eat a lot of crow because at the end of the day, we sleeping on him. Listen.
I'm picking him to win.
Listen, it ain't even that. I didn't listen. I didn't say motherfuckers don't pay attention when I say some shit. All I said was a lot of people are picking him to lose. That's not a lie. I haven't said what I think is going to happen yet. I literally haven't. All I said was a lot of people are picking him to lose.
And I'm picking Usyk, but I also said that if the reason I'm picking Usyk because if AJ don't get him out of there within 5-6 rounds, that gas tank is not equipped to go 12 like that.
I'm not going to bullshit you that I would prefer that Anthony Joshua win. I would prefer that because the state of the division. It's the state of the division. It's better. It's better for boxing, and motherfuckers can say what they want. It's better for boxing if he win. It's better for the health and the revenue stream at heavyweight if he win. It's not good if Usyk win. We back in the Klitschko shit. It's gonna cool off.
Yeah, but how sure they're not talking to him about that behind the scenes, man?
Hey, man, they better tell him something because he need to win. He need to win.
But I also even if you don't fight Fury, because I know AJ wins, Jules Fury's gonna come with some bullshit, thinking he the ace. Like, nah, motherfucker. We saw what your last fight with Dillian did, what Deontay did. Like, no, you got to come where I'm at.
Exactly.
But it's still more probable that he can make the fight with AJ than it would be with Usyk. So there's no better option.
It is. That's
but like I said, anytime the Furies get involved now, it's all bullshit.
It's always bullshit. Let me read the super chat. Marco asks, like I said, let my boy Rigo play Fidel Castro, El Chacal.
You know who I think should play that role? Forget Harry Osborn, not the octopus. Alfred Molina.
Fuck it, right?
I said Pedro Pasquale.
Let me read the super chat. Good. Will said, thoughts on Nonito Donaire continuing his career at super flyweight. Listen, I've been waiting to do a video on that, so I'm not going to talk about it here because I literally have all my screenshots and all my shit ready. So I am not going to talk about that here.
I know you ain't Jules, but I think that would be a good fight.
Listen, I'm not going to talk about that.
Back to what you were saying, Jules, about the
suicide mission.
Now, back to what I was saying about these cucks crying about nobody look like me on TV. Stop watching TV then, motherfucker. You have real problems to worry about, to be worrying about who plays Fidel Castro in a movie. You fucking losers.
I mean, like what's funny to me is like the
talk to him. No, he's talking greasy. I like that. Talk to him.
It's like, yo, dog, you don't got nothing else going on in your fucking life that you worried about that. That's like the murder. That's like the murder. You don't remember a couple of months ago, people got mad that they was going to cast a chocolate joint to play a mermaid. Why are you mad about that? You don't got nothing going on that you mad that Zendaya, I think they was going to get Zendaya.
This is strictly some American shit because I've seen Black American actors get mad when Black UK actors get more jobs just because they're better actors.
Oh my god,
a lot better actors, like exponentially better.
How they can flawlessly do American accents? It's a mystery to me.
Because they're classically trained. They're classically.
It's more like these people do this, and it's like, oh, you trying to be an activist? Well, here's some shit. Why don't you go get active about police brutality? Because you care so fucking much about the issues. You fucking cuck. Fuck out of here, B.
it's nauseating because this is only some American bullshit.
It is though. I don't see nobody worrying about dumb shit like, fam. Look. I know it's an issue in Brazil, and that's real. There's a whole nother side of Brazil that don't get depicted on screen, but that's real. All right, that is real. There's plenty of Spanish people on TV, fam. Yeah. America Ferrara, Gloria Velez, J-Lo, Viva Mendes, motherfucking Summer Hayek, motherfucking Rosalind Sanchez, it's not like Sofia Vergara con esa
and my personal favorite, Monique Fuentes on
I'm just saying, it's like they really pretending that there's an issue that is, it's still no issue, fam. We have representation. Since the days of Richie Valens.
Bob is probably one of the best characters in a movie. His brother Bob. No, the part Jules where she's like, I'm pregnant, and he's like, it ain't my first or my last.
my man Manolo that was shagging China. You know what I mean? We've been out here, fam.
What about when they're at the pool and he's like, I want my name on the back of chicks' asses. Go ahead, Romeo. Do your thing.
No, I'm just saying that, like, in other words, they're taking something like it's not real, fam. We've been out here. My man Noel G been in everything from motherfucking Training Day.
Yeah, that dude. Yep.
He been in everything from fucking Training Day to one of the motherfucking Purge movies because he was trying to get some ass from the chocolate joint and she ain't want to give him no. I think it was a chocolate joint and she ain't want to give him no ass and he got shot in the beginning of the movie. Like, we've been out here, fam. What are you talking about? That the kid, the Puerto Rican kid, that his neck is mad sunk in, like he looked like he's trying to make weight or some shit. You know what I'm talking about? The Puerto Rican kid in the movie with Veronica Mars, where it's like a ghost in a computer and a computer pull you in and you turn into an ink cartridge. We've been out here, fam. Yeah, we've been out here.
And let us not get started on American Me.
Let's not get started on American. Let's not.
American Me was horrible. Good God.
Let's not start on American Me. I'm just saying.
Noel G plays the same role though. The same exact
taking the role, bro.
And we got the little Mexican dude that's the lead in Cobra Kai.
Yep, him too. Yep.
There's the other Mexican dude that's going to be the main villain in the next Black Panther.
We got Wilmer Panorama from the '70s show.
You know who we got? We got King Ryan Garcia.
We got Ryan Garcia, bro.
Stop it.
Yeah, you got that guy, that bald-headed cholo that plays Jose in every movie.
You know what I'm saying?
Michael Peña's in every movie now.
What is that? Fishnets, The Adventures Continue?
The dude from Speed, Gigantor. Y'all remember the Dominican cat in Speed?
Yeah.
We've been out here.
I know him as Popeye and Give Me Some Chon Chon.
What y'all talking about? We've been out here, fam. Like, what are y'all talking about? Like,
surfaces after all.
I would like see now. I would like a different version of a Latino prison movie with like Puerto Ricans and Dominicans.
That's
because we only see Mexican ones.
Yeah. I made a mistake.
Also, y'all, this reminds me of another thing. Y'all know the show Iron Fist, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like during the whole like casting of that show, like there was some Asian actors like who were in the Marvel productions talking about like, oh, they should cast an Asian actor to play this role. I'm like, wait a minute, but he's not even Asian in the comics.
Yo, look, this is my thing, right? When they came out with Miles Morales, I as a Latino, whatever the fuck they want to call it, because I don't even give a shit what the fuck they class it, because I speak more Spanish than these Jono Sabo motherfuckers. These is the main, it's the Jono Sabos is the main ones that's complaining. The motherfuckers that don't speak Spanish. You care so much about the fucking culture that you don't speak Spanish.
Hey, you know what was a good series and they had a good mix was Oz on HBO, man.
Out of BC with the little hat.
Yep.
Oz was super foul though.
Like this is only an American thing because like China, when they get our movies, they're like, no,
you ain't watching this.
Like no.
But this is what I'm trying to say, right? They came out with Miles Morales, right? And I was like, yo, listen, fam, my blood is Caribbean, and I don't need this. See what I mean? Were you fake supposed to be catering? Yeah, I don't need this. What are you talking about? If you want to make a Spanish superhero, just make a Spanish superhero. Don't fuck up some shit that is already established. I don't need Puerto Rican Peter Parker. Like, nah, I don't need that. But you can make me a Gonzalez. You can make me a superhero, like a legit a superhero.
I mean,
and
yeah,
it's the lack of creativity. I'm a very creative person, and that's why it bakes my noodle. You are not creating shit. What you are doing is being a hack. That's what you're doing. If you wanted to make, I could sit here and make a Native American hero come up with a whole backstory. And the story will be dope, and you'll fucking love it, and it'll all be organic. But what I don't gotta do, I don't gotta take Cyclops and make him from Washington Heights. That's just some bullshit.
All right, hear me out.
Bro.
Hear me out. We've had Captain America. Now I want to see Captain Puerto Rico.
No, fuck it. If we go, I need to see Captain Columbia, and I need it to be a joint with a big old ass.
Jules, if you're going to make a Native American one, make one about Popeye, the leader of the first rebellion in the United States, man.
Look, one thing I used to do when I was very young, because I was very big on drawing and I was very big on writing, I would research lore. You know, if you want to make like a cool Irish hero, you have Lou. Use Lou. You know what I mean? It had a big stick. It was like 10 feet long. You used to kill shit with it. It was fucking magic. It's all sorts of dope stories in the past that you can. Yeah, all sorts of dope stories in the past you could use as source materials to make culturally relevant characters. But don't give me, Spider-Man from Fordham Road. Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here with this bullshit, this is some lazy ass shit.
Jules, how do you feel about Prey then? The newest Predator movie.
I liked it because that's what I would have wrote, but I don't like how they did it.
It was good.
It's a good movie.
I saw it. Look, I'll tell you the truth. I'm very big on Predator. I've always loved the Predator series. I love my man Dutch. I love my man Danny. Getting too old for this shit. Love my man. But I'm gonna keep it real. Now that I've seen it, it's not bad, but it's not how I would have did it. Because there's two things that need to happen in a movie like Prey. It needs to be a far enough deviation from Dutch and Danny Glover that it feels fresh. But you need certain familiar cues. So the camera that I would have used, there wouldn't have been a lot of music in the thing, and there was too much music. The camera looks like a fucking Josh Whedon camera. The filter they use, like, fam, like this looked like a WB joint. Like this I don't feel the nature. Now, when I was watching Northman, I felt cold. My dick felt dirty. I'm like, yo, this is grimy ass shit out here.
In other words, the cinematography was right up to the setting, right?
It felt too modern. Right. And I know that they chose an all Native American cast. So it's not that, it's that the joint shot chose, she looked too modern. Like, I need something that harkens to the past, a face that looks like something you'd see in the past, because this is supposed to be 300 years ago. The joint you used, I could bump into a joint that looked like that on Broadway. I don't feel like I'm in the past.
Real talk, Jules.
So out of a 10, what would you give it?
7.5 because it was good.
Okay.
Real talk, Jules.
Good. Everything was set up good.
As a freaking Predator fan, I love, like you said, the OG Predator movie will forever be golden in my eyes. I want the damn Predator to have a W, man. He's been having 7 movies of just getting his ass kicked. I want him to have a dub.
Nah, if you gonna be real, he got the dub on Dutch. He got the dub on. Remember, he killed the whole squad, my guy. Before Dutch and them even got there, he fucking murked the whole squad.
The Predator from Predator 2 was a menace to society, bro. I'll say what, man. He took out drug cartels. He took out everything, man.
If you think about it, we don't have a dub. For every one Predator that get killed, they kill like 50. He killed Gary Busey. Get out of here.
He kind of deserved it because it's Gary fucking Busey.
But he let
Busey.
What's her name? That John from the 80s that was in Running Man and she was in Predator 2.
Maria Conchita Alonso.
Oh, I love Maria Conchita Alonso.
That's what I'm saying. But this is what I mean. Like, how is people really sitting here pretending that we had no representation?
And who is that other joint? Jules from she was from Total Recall, the brunette with the curly hair.
I know you talking about, but
she was hot too.
I know her. Yeah.
She been in some bad ones. She was the guard in Con Air too.
Let me read the super chat. Liam Rockwell says the Latino fella from Ant-Man should be cast in every movie until the end of time. I dig it. Motherfucking Mr. T says, still hoping the boxing gods grant my wishes of seeing Cap Maul crying and Jeet Davis get laid down like freshly made Persian carpet, go to sleep. Things can't happen when you believe in Jesus, bro. All right? Knockout is always right around the corner.
I got a question.
Even in the
Inri, baby.
Go ahead.
I got a question. So why are people not upset whenever they made the Escobar series, the Narco series? The dude that they have who was a Colombian, that guy was actually from Brazil. He didn't speak a word of Spanish. That dude had to learn Spanish to be the #1 known Colombian guy of all time. Where's the outrage for that? You didn't hear a peep.
This is the thing, right? These people are opportunists passing off as activists. They don't care about real issues because there are real issues in Latin America that don't get this kind of outrage. Like real issues, like drug cartels and bribes and all this shit, right? It's real shit going on south of the border, believe it, all right? Puerto Rico, like fucking 5 motherfuckers got shot. Bad. No outrage. But you worried about James Franco playing Fidel Castro. This is what you lose sleep over.
And you know what's funny? It's always the same people, man. It's the middle class kids who's probably still live in their mother's basement, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, ain't no motherfucking real Spanish motherfucker worried about no James Franco. It's the Joe No Sabo. It's this generation of Joe No Sabo.
Man, if you gotta pay your bills, you don't give a shit who plays Fidel Castro on a movie, man.
Yeah, if I'm out here selling motherfucking cocaine, do you think I give 2 fucks if Harry Osborn want to grow a beard and play a Cuban? No.
What Latinos are worried about right now is their country qualifying for the World Cup.
Exactly.
Yep. You think Julius, I gotta ask you something.
Tú sabes que este tipo va a jugar Fidel Castro? I can't even see that happening. Not in Spanish. Now some fake Joe No Sabo, fake ass Danny Garcia type Spanish kids that don't even speak Spanish. Like, yeah, of course you gonna get mad.
Que sí.
Jose. You know what I'm saying? Like, you not like, get out of here, bro. We don't rock, like, we don't get mad at bullshit. Fuck is you talking about? Like, that's
Danny
not us,
Trejo.
man.
I remember Danny Trejo.
Oh my God, Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Con Air, motherfucking motherfucking bro. I love some Danny Trejo. I don't give a fuck, bro. He's all the shits that he was in was my shits.
Bro, I'm happy you mentioned Dusk Till Dawn. I love that movie.
Oh,
yep,
me too.
Love that film.
That's a classic. That's a classic.
My favorite Danny Trejo role. He didn't say shit the whole movie, but when he showed up, motherfuckers died. And that was Desperado.
Yep.
He showed up with that hair.
Oh, yeah.
That tech. He didn't say shit, but
This man was throwing knives, bro. While everybody was shooting guns, he was throwing knives.
Salma Hayek role?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna be real with you. That was my favorite role for her, but Dusk Till Dawn though, dude.
Oh, that dance she did in the strip club, y'all.
Oh, damn! Don't even get me started,
bro. George says, I want to see Voodoo Man in the MCU. He's a semi-obscure Marvel character that briefly took over for Doctor Strange as Sorcerer Supreme. We'll see, bro, because I feel with the MCU, they're wearing it thin for the purposes of franchise as opposed to the purposes of storytelling. And that's why the material is kind of...
It's getting dry. It's getting dry.
Man, don't get me started,
this was
man.
the worst phase.
It is like it's not that those stories, and this is the sad part. It's not that those stories don't need to be told. It's that you're only telling them for franchise purposes. Like She-Hulk could be all right, but the way y'all doing it, that shit look like fucking. That shit look like a cartoon, bro. Like
looks like a CW.
I have a feeling it's
TV
gonna
series.
What I want to know, Jules, how bad do you think that Batgirl movie is if they're not going to show it now? $90 million they spent on that shit.
Come on, man. Like,
you know,
Well, that's going to start happening more because they can write them off for tax purposes.
This is the regret that I have I have one regret as a human being, one that I didn't get into film because I would have loved to do Batgirl, and the way I would have did, nobody would have did it how I would do it. Nobody would have did it. Even this emo pussified, like this Batman don't got a crotch, bro. He got a pussy down there. Yeah. That's not how I would have did it. Got a pussy down there, bro. Kind of estrogen fuel shit is going on here. Like, listen, Commissioner, I know that the city is burning, but she got a cat suit on, my guy. I gotta get in there.
I had another look.
Where's Batman?
Yeah, I had another look at the movie.
Commissioner Gordon have to get under Catwoman's ass.
It's not what I do that defines me. It's the strokes I use.
Because y'all honestly, I had another look.
That's what I didn't like.
Yo, read this shit. Read this shit. Read this shit.
That's terrible. That's awful, bro. Holy shit, that's bad.
Hey, don't give them ideas, man.
Bad pronouns. Whatever.
And this new Batman, this last Batman was entertaining, but Bruce Wayne didn't get no hoes.
Listen, this is the main
He
shit.
had no bitches.
Listen, this is the main shit for me, right? All right. The Batman story, and this is the sad part. The Batman story does not need to be retold. Really, it doesn't. Like, if you want to show different stories in the Batman continuum, everybody knows his origin already. You don't need to keep telling it over. You can literally just start off, you know who Batman is, and what you can showcase is your abilities as a director, if you were a good director. But most of the guys tackling the source material outside of the Nolan brothers, because that was the most unique, I'll say. Not the greatest. It could be done better, believe it or not. It could be done way better. Batman should feel like Punisher because he's a fucking lunatic, and that's what they never show. That's what they never get across, I think, to the audience. That listen, Batman might run around with Superman in them, right? But this motherfucker's not right in the head, and y'all never show that. That for all the times y'all try to show that the Joker is crazy, or these, you know that he's crazy too. He's fucking.
He's just as crazy as his adversary. Hold on. Which is why they need to come up with the Frank Miller's Batman.
Y'all calling me for?
Because like I had another look at the movie, right? I watched it again, and it's like this was subpar. Like this just was like I don't know, man. I mean, it felt like Josh Whedon Batman.
Yeah, bro. Listen, Batman. Okay, let me say this real quick. When Bruce Wayne, like Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne, was in that alternate fusion, Batman vs Superman, that was that window, that little window for a Frank Miller type of film of Batman.
Let me say this, and like I said, I'm more of a DC guy than a Marvel guy, right? So I love them. Yes, I'm more of a DC guy than a Marvel guy, and I love Ben Affleck as Batman. That was perfect. If you want to see the Batman from the comics on the screen, that's your man. That's the one you want to see. Now,
not George Clooney.
Oh, bro.
Bat nipples. George, you want to know what my one regret is? It's like I think I mentioned this before, but like he was supposed to do a solo Batman film. He was going to direct it and star, produce, write all that. And like my regret is we never saw that because I really wanted to see his take in all those roles in addition to the performance. But then, you know,
look, the way that Batman is being done as a superhero movie. And that's why it doesn't really, it just, if you were a big Batman fan, or you were like me, when you were young, you were big on the source material, right? Mm-hmm. Batman cannot be done like a superhero in the superhero sense of the word. There's too much light in the movies. You can see too much. That's why I say the Nolan brothers came the closest, because a lot of that movie's very fucking dark. Well, that's how the comics were drawn. Yeah. That's how the comics would. It's dark, fam. You're not supposed to be able to see this, because a big part of what makes him so effective is the mystery. He's in the shadows for a reason. It ain't so I can see nipples on his fucking costume. You know what I mean?
Back credit card. Wait. Y'all remember he showed up in Batman Begins, the first fight scene. We didn't even see what the fuck he did at all.
Real shit. And I love that. And I love that's one of my favorite scenes outside of, I ain't gonna front, that Batman versus Superman when he broke into the warehouse and started setting it on motherfuckers. That shit was wow, son. I ain't gonna front. That was dope. But all I'm saying is, if I were gonna do a Batman movie, there would be very few moments where there's music in the background. And when there is music in the background, it has to harken to something familiar, because that's when it works. The way they're doing these movies is like an episode of Smallville. Like, bro, you didn't need $28 million to show these weak-ass scenes. You might as well just look. You know what the movie is? It's Zoe Kravitz in a cat suit for 2 hours. Just show that.
That's it.
Doing different shit like vacuuming.
Yeah, you need help, bro. You need help. Like, yo, Jules, but like you said about Batman. So, like, you call him a psychopath. So, like, I'm just saying, if you were to make a Batman movie, so would it be like a gratuitous violence, like really, like him beating people half dead type shit?
Yeah, the way I would do it, And I hope I'm putting it out there because I want someone to do it. And usually that's what happens. The way I would do it, the fight scenes would look like Bourne. I'd use that choreography.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
I'd use that choreography and that filter for the film. There would not be a lot of music in it. I might even play with the idea of telling the story from someone else's perspective, not Batman's, because the audience already fucking knows Batman. Why don't you show something new, like what it's like to live in a city where Batman is beating the shit out of people and nobody knows why? It's a lot of ways. It's a lot of ways you could come at it to where you can tell a really great story in a new way. And what I don't like about Hollywood, they don't have no new ideas. The newest shit that I saw that I loved was that shit on that horror movie of it was a couple of months ago. They had like a 3-part series that there's like a witch in the forest and a bitch touched the skull of the witch and then the demons started popping up and they was it was dope. That's the newest type of slasher shit I've seen that was actually original. But outside of that, everything is regurgitated, bro.
Hear me out.
Go ahead.
Well, Jules, go to Hollywood then.
I should.
I thought the latest Joker movie they did was pretty damn good. That guy played a.
I like the message that it sent. I like. It's a good movie. Don't get it twisted. It's a good movie, but that is not for the audience that likes to consume superhero films. There's actually like a real message in there. Like, yo, you know, all these lunatics that's out here. The reason they like that is because of y'all, because of how y'all treat them. That's why they out here.
By the way, Jules, question.
Thank you, Jules.
By the way, Jules, question. Did you see Daredevil yet?
The series, no, haven't seen it.
Okay, like I'm gonna keep asking till you watch it because like
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
I mean, because you mentioned fight scenes, right? The fight scenes in that best I've seen in probably a TV. It's like movie level type shit, and like
the hallway scene.
Yep.
Let me say this. I'm different. I'm gonna say, depending on what kind of movie or what kind of story you're telling, the fight scene has to align with that. So one of the reasons I'm such a big fan of Bourne's fight scenes, it was literally in keeping with who he was and what he does. It's not for you to see me do this big jump kick like Van Damme. Do the same kick in every movie. Yeah! Same kick,
Jules,
bro.
Hey, Jules, did you ever see Lobo versus Superman?
Yeah, I seen that. That was a good fight.
The crap out of Superman. I mean,
yeah, but Superman got that back, bro. Don't just talk about when Lobo won like Superman never beat Lobo. Superman beat Hulk 3 out of 3 times, bro.
Hear me out, Jules. Like, that's true. I know you mentioned the Bourne style. Hear me out, man. Sin City, man. Make it stylized, bro. Give me like a stylized Batman.
That's like Frank. I like Frank Miller. Don't get me wrong. I like Frank Miller, but the vision that I have for a Batman film is a Bourne film. That's what it would be like. A Bourne, Blair Witch, a hybrid of that. Because it's kind of like what they tried to do in Cloverfield. What they did in Clover, which I thought was genius. Tell a monster story about a giant monster from the perspective of a person. Yeah. It's just scary. And they didn't, I don't think they executed it as good as they could. But there was some great moments there when you look up and it's surreal that you're seeing things from the perspective of a person on the ground.
That kind of sounds reminiscent of a Godzilla movie almost.
Yeah, that's what it was like. It was like some giant shit in New York, and you never really get a good look at the monster until really the end. And even then, it's an obscure view. You know, you don't, and that's effective. It's like don't show everything because then it feels like a fucking Michael Bay movie. Or it's enough Michael Bay movies, you know.
And Michael Bay make good movies. Stop saying my son.
Not saying that he don't. But we don't need the wide panoramic shot when the car is flipping and Optimus is and he flipping. Like we don't need all that. Like, come on, chill out, fam. Like that's a lot.
Hey, Jules. In other words,
but it worked for that film, though.
Your concept would be a bit abstract. In other words, which I kind of dig.
Not abstract, just stick to the source material. He is not the guy who rescues cats from trees. He's not that guy. He's an
animal.
He's not a symbol like Superman. Like the reason I'm big on Superman, just in general, he's a symbol. That's literally what he is. He's a symbol. Batman is literally the anti-hero archetype. So when you show him doing something in a scene, it has to be violent enough and disturbing enough that you like, yo, You know what I mean? Kind of like that scene in Fight Club when he beat the shit out of Jared Leto, which I love because I hate Jared Leto.
Why you hate Jared Leto? Why you hate Jared Leto?
You're a huge Batman fan, right? So hear me out, man. Imagine the big screen representation of a Death in the Family, bro. Have Joker fuck up one of the Robins, bro.
Yeah,
that'd be a really good scene.
That'd be dark.
Jules, I'm saying
because
like
remember
this.
he killed Robin when Robin was still a little
Yes.
fucking kid.
Yes,
bro.
he did, man. He was a teen.
I mean, but Jules, that's why I reiterate. Like that's why you love Daredevil because the fight scenes in that are brutal. Matt be fucking people up, man. He really does.
Well, it's not just the gratuitous violence. Like I'm not into gratuitous violence. Like believe it, I'm not like
you watch boxing.
That's not gratuitous. It's a story there. I need to see Keith Thurman knocked out. It's a story there. I need that.
Yeah, well, we're all
I need to see
tired of
Danny
like
knocked out,
Keith
too.
Thurman running his mouth.
It's just I don't like Hong Kong fight scenes where you can tell that the choreography was geared towards showing the audience something cool.
Yeah.
I liked it Bourne's fight scenes because they were indicative of what he was trained to do, and how good he was at it. That style, Kali, is designed to take out the target as quickly and efficiently as possible. That's what you'd
When he killed
expect.
the nigga with the book, bro. When he killed dude with the book, god damn.
When he was fighting with old boy in his living room in Dusseldorf. Remember when he went to Germany in the second one? He fighting with old. They
And then that's
fuck this shit. You need to die.
That's when he was smacking him with the magazine, right? He was
Real shit. Pop, pop, pop. You know what I mean? Beautiful shit. I don't like stupid ass. Like I don't like, bro. You don't need to flip in the air to fucking kick the guy. Just shoot him. You know, like can we say
It's almost too over choreographed.
Exactly. Like in Batman versus Superman, the reason that scene worked, at least for me, is because this is not your run-of-the-mill Batman. This is your Batman that rubs elbows with people that have powers. So he needs to seem extraordinary when he throwing them hands. That makes sense. In Nolan Brothers Batman, the only fight scene that I really liked in most of those Batman films, all three of them, is when you can't see him fighting because that's Batman. Like this dude is a ninja, fam. Like he will fucking twist your shit up and you won't even know why. You won't even know that your shit is getting twisted up or by what. That works. It needs to be a part of telling the story. It can't just be, well, here's where Bane and Batman go at it, and it's like a Rocky. Like, nah, come on, B. I would like the scene with Bane. If I'd have did it, it wouldn't have even been like that. It might have been shorter. And you might have been like, yo, did he really just beat the shit out of Batman that quick?
Like hand in hand, like in like 5 seconds? You know what I mean?
I mean,
the way I would have did it, it would have been like, because I've drawn what I wanted it to be like. And what I did, it's not just that he breaks his back, it's that he breaks him. Like, he breaks his arm, breaks his wrist, breaks his leg, then he pick him up and
So like the actual source material that it was based off of, because Bane, like Batman was doing all his tricky shit in the comics,
doing
and
all
Bane
his
just
flash shit, and that's what you
Bane
need to
just
show. And I
got
don't
him.
think they captured that in the scene. They captured in the scene that, you're not doing it right. You need to show that, like, yo, this dude is literally smacking Batman around like a doja, bro. Like, go to the store, bro.
And plus,
Go to
like,
the
and plus,
store,
plus, like in the comics, it was genius how he decided to target him because, like, he had heard stories about Bat. So when he broke out of that prison and went to Gotham, he scouted him out and noticed that he wouldn't beat him head on. So then he like broke out all the villains in Arkham, and Batman spent several days rounding them up, like bringing himself to like the point of exhaustion. And then that's when he went after him and fucked him up and beat him.
To be fair, Comic Bane was a fucking badass dude. He was born and raised in a prison. He had his father's sentence. He was a badass in the comics.
No, I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. I know that you know this, Avo, but these outraged bitches don't.
Oh, he's Mexican.
Bane is supposed to be Latino. That's why he's wearing a lucha libre mask.
I knew that.
Do you think that I gave 2 fucks that my man Tom Hardy? You only.
It's still better than the George Clooney Bane.
I look what he did for Bane, and this is why I love film. Like it's like, look, I already know that Nick Fury was a white dude in the beginning. Do you think I got mad when they gave it to Sam? No. You either gonna be good at the shit or you not. It's that simple.
Wait, Jules, let me tell you this.
Quick question, man.
What's that country? Hold up. I mean, just the ultimate Sam Jackson Nick Fury. That was based on the ultimate version of the character who looks like Sam Jack In case you didn't know
But
that.
it ain't even. It's more along the lines of, look, if you grew up in the 80s, 90s, and that Nick Fury that, you know, he had like the Reed Richards white patch of hair on it. That's the Nick Fury that most people know. No. Do you think I'm gonna lose my mind? They gave it the no.
Hey, Jules, quick question. When Superman beat Hulk, he said he beat him 3 times. Was that against the Green Hulk or the Gray Hulk?
I'll tell you which each one, right? All of it was the Green Hulk. The first one, the first time he beat him, Hulk couldn't even move him. Like he could, because Hulk is not as strong as he's made out to be, but they want to make him OP because Superman is OP. Why am I big on Superman though? Superman is supposed to be OP, overpowered, right? Because the story is the morality, not the powers. The story is, I have all this power. What am I going to do with it? Because I have the power of a god damn near on this planet. So it's not as simple as, well, let me tell a story about a guy that has a lot of strength. The story is actually the sacrifices and the moral dilemmas, whereas Marvel's stories are more user-friendly. And we've talked about this, that Marvel's stories are more user-friendly because the little bullshit like Iron Man, what's his story about? Redemption. Your company's been dealing arms under the table, and you have to clean up the mess you made inadvertently. That's what it's about. The X-Men, you're not fighting for Earth. You're fighting for civil rights as mutants. That's what that's about.
Right.
Peter Parker, he has a guilty conscience because you could have did something that would have ended up saving your uncle, but you didn't realize it until he was dead.
Oh, you're talking about the better Peter Parker. The current Peter Parker is Iron Boy Jr.
But the thing is that the Gray Hulk was much more intelligent than the Green Hulk. Green Hulk
was a mobster.
Intelligent.
But weaker.
He was a mobster.
He was weaker, but he had intelligence, man.
Now, each version of Hulk that he fought, because he fought the old version of Hulk, then he fought the version of Hulk that gets stronger as he gets bigger, and he fought some more recent version of Hulk, and he beat all of their ass. Don't believe me? Look it up.
I believe you.
I'm just saying, he even knocked out Thor. He knocked him smooth out. The way Roy got knocked out by Tarva, that's how Superman knocked out Thor. And took his
so
hand.
Superman slid Thor under the rope? That's crazy.
Don't believe me, fam. Look it up.
Hey, Jules, did you grow up on
fucking with my men, B. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Jules, did you grow up on the old school Christopher Reeve Superman like I did?
Yes, he was magic, bro.
Bro, I'm
not gonna lie to you. When Richard Donner didn't finish the second one, and that's why the second one doesn't have the magic. See, the first one has magic. Like when he catch Lois and all of that, and they cue the music. The music is beautiful, by the way. It's a beautiful score. And the second one, the third one, the fourth one, you'll notice that it just doesn't have the same magic that the first one had. Whereas they got lazy with the second one. Like, oh, this is just a movie about a guy with powers. And the third one, you got Richard Pryor for comic relief, which I like. But this is not the same as the first one. The first one was dope. I will say, Henry Cavill, Man of Steel, even though I'm big on Christopher Reeves just on being an 80s baby, Henry Cavill did his motherfucking thing in them movies.
Say it again, Juice.
He did his I'm a huge Superman fan, bro, and he did his motherfucking thing in them movies, B.
Remember one thing, though, Jules. As great as Superman is, he lost to Muhammad Ali back in the 80s.
It's Ali, my guy. Come on now. It's Ali, my guy.
You guys remember that big oversized comic book I had?
Yes, I do. I still got mine.
Listen, it's Ali, bro. He had to lose, man. It's Ali. He's the greatest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He lost that Capricorn?
Don't everybody loses to us, bro. Sean Barkis says, would you want to see a Killing Joke film? I feel like you could do that as part of a TV series more than a movie. It would be a little bit difficult to put that in a movie. You could try, but it would be difficult.
They already did one, an animated film, actually,
which was garbage.
Yeah, that was trash.
It was okay. It's good. Like if it's Sunday and you doing some shit, but you want to have something on, it was good like that because it wasn't bad.
You know what the best part of that movie is, Jules? The fucking actual source material, not that extra shit they added with Batwoman and Batgirl and all that shit.
That didn't make any damn sense. I didn't get that.
Now Deed says Twilight Batman, Bale Batman. Nah, you right. Robert Pattinson, right? Good actor for the role, right? I'm not gonna shit on him. I see the vision, but the way it was executed, he had no presence, bro. Y'all literally did Batman knocking on a door. Whose fucking idea was it?
Bro, I was bro, real talk. I was
know who I am. Like, fucking you some dickhead with a bat suit knocking on the door. And I don't fucking know who you are.
I feel bad for
And he had the
Patterson
makeup
'cause
too.
I feel bad for Patterson for one reason, dude. Real talk, I was kind of worried because real talk, when I look at him, I swear to God, all I saw was Twilight.
It's not the Twilight that got me. He was like Batman that's scared to go to the prom. Bro, you run around at night, right? Understand this, and this is why the character don't work. You literally run around at night beating the shit out of people, right? You're not gonna get nervous around no poo-tang. And you get all nervous and butterflies just because Zoe got a man. You better fucking fuck her. You better fuck her. Fuck is going on?
He always looks like he's angry that he's constipated. Like,
you know, he looked like he's trying to get an erection and he can't.
Blame that on Bale, man. Bale was like the progenitor. Like, his voice sounded like he just came out after like a hardcore constipated shit, man.
But at least he was fucking, bro. He fucked a couple of broads in the Nolan brothers.
He was getting pussy. He was getting pussy.
Well, I mean, objectively, we all know the best Batman was the one who pulled out the back credit card back in the 90s, you know?
Oh,
Come on, man. That movie is a living meme. You gotta love that movie.
I like Christian Bale in American Psycho, though. American Psycho Bale. Remember he killed Jared Leto?
He's a really good actor.
Whoever's idea was to cast Arnold Schwarzenegger's Arnold
is a genius. He's a fucking genius.
I mean, they need the heavy-headed.
Chill out.
Yeah.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age.
I mean, every time I see his ass, it's like, how the fuck did he agree to do this shit? It's like, what?
$20 million. They had to pay him $20 million.
Oh, they did give him that much, didn't they?
But I'm gonna tell you something about Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? We could say what we want about Arnie, man, but that dude is a fucking icon, bro.
Yes, he
Conan,
is.
Yep.
Yeah, he built
Conan to fucking to Red Heat to motherfucking Predator. Oh my god! I can't tell you.
Governor of California.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Did anybody see his movie Sabotage? Y'all ever watch that?
No, I ain't see Sabotage.
Okay, he played like the leader of a DA agent who steals like money from the cartels, and it's like they had this funny ass interrogation scene where he's being interrogated by the money. Then like he gets somebody, he's like, "Don't fucking scream at me, you fuck you."
Yo, fuck you. No, wait. Who remember Total Recall when he coming off the elevator? What are you doing? Let me go.
How have we not mentioned Terminator, bro? I'll be back.
What are you doing to me? Bro,
The Uzi 9mm.
I watched that shit the other day. I rewound that scene like 10 times, B. I lost like 10 pounds laughing. What the fuck are you doing to me? That shit was beautiful.
You blew my cover.
Unironically, my favorite Arnold's movie is Twins with fucking Danny DeVito.
I remember that movie.
Twins, yeah, I remember that movie.
I love that movie.
Bro,
You guys seen Kindergarten Cop?
Picked up the back of the car to turn off the alarm.
just that whole 80s genre of "cause I got muscles, I know how to fight" is golden, bro. Like everybody had muscles back then, even the fucking bad guys. Not realizing, all them swole motherfuckers get tired fast. You know that, right?
They get knocked out cold.
Y'all remember this in Twins? Talking about like you move too soon. It's the first word of the crisis situation.
What is he talking about?
You know who changed that era though? Like of the muscle era? I think it would probably be Steven Seagal because that motherfucker looked like a GameStop clerk.
It's not really being real. The dude that turned it all around and showed people that you could do an action movie without the traditional sentiments was my man Bruce Willis, Die Hard.
Oh yeah,
that's
Die
who
2
did
is my
that.
favorite movie.
And I ain't going front, even though they got a little bit crazy towards the end, around the Live Free or Die Hard, where he flying fucking Mack trucks in the jets.
And the helicopters and all that.
They got a little bit crazy.
Like the first two movies, it's like he gave the perfect depiction of an everyman trying to like get through a tough situation.
That's when you started seeing more movies that a motherfucker ain't gotta be swole. He ain't gotta be cack to whip a little bit of ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
what's the word on him? Because he hasn't been doing too good, man.
Oh yeah,
he can't speak anymore.
Act no more. He can't act no more.
He retired. Yeah.
He retired. He got like a condition.
How we ain't gonna mention Chuck Norris? Come on now, bro.
Delta Force, bro.
Exactly, Chuck
Delta
Norris.
Force missing in action, bro. Chill.
Hell, Walker, Texas Ranger.
But see, listen, before all of that, it was one man on the scene. He ain't had no muscles. He wasn't that tall. He wasn't that good looking. But man alive, was he kicking ass? And that's my man, Charles Bronson. Death Wish.
Yeah.
He was a stash and a gun. And that's all he needed. That's all he needed.
Hey, don't forget Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry is right around then too.
Yeah,
he played the
but it's Clint,
but that's
bro.
a western. That's a western, man. That's
looking
like
at Clint in the eyes is like getting shot.
Charles Bronson played Danny the Tunnel King in a war movie. Do you guys remember the name of it?
Nah.
I'm sorry, man.
It was Danny the Tunnel King. It was a World War II escape movie.
WMMA says old Jack Burton was the perfect cheesy action hero. I don't know Jack Burton.
Big Trouble Little China. He's talking.
Oh,
talking about.
All right.
I remember watching some of them old school 70s movies when I was a kid, like The Warrior Within, Return of the Dragon, like Bruce Lee type shit when I was a kid. I remember that, man.
Oh, who didn't love Bruce Lee, man? Come on, everybody.
Hey, I know kids nowadays don't even know who Bruce Lee is, man. We live in the trying times.
I mean, really, look, the funny shit is the kids don't know the source material, but they know the fake shit that came from it. You see what I mean? They don't know the actual source material, but
that's what Hollywood wanted, though.
Yeah,
that's what Hollywood wanted. Hollywood, because the fake stuff that Hollywood propagated out is like stuff that they wanted in life. Because art imitates life, bro. Because you got to understand this. A lot of these people do these things.
Let these kids see, Enter the Dragon and Fist of Fury and the rest of those. Man, they'll fall in love.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies, like 90s action movies, was it's a superhero movie. It was The Crow. I love that movie.
Listen, wait a minute. Wait. Shut the fuck up. The Crow is a masterpiece.
Oh, man.
Can I tell you something? I watch that shit at least once or twice a week. I'm not even kidding. While I'm editing the relay, I'll have it playing. It's beautiful.
It's a great movie, man.
And it's not because of the fight scenes. It's because of the atmosphere.
Yes.
It's perfect, that fucking movie, bro. Perfect. That shit and my man, the Rape. I ain't gonna front the Rape ain't fucking with the Crow. But that was dope. He come back, he dead, cold dick, cold bitch. He got a hot car, crashing. That shit is dope, bro.
Real talk.
Cold bitch, cold dick is crazy. Real talk. That's wicked as hell. Now everybody time out and literally look at Julius. Turn your cameras on and look at this nigga.
Just saying, motherfucker, back freezer burn on his schlong, and that's how he killed motherfuckers when he killed
freezer burn on his dick, my nigga. Freezer burn on his dick, B. That's what we doing. That's how we talking, nigga. On the slit on? On the slit on, my nigga?
Kids will talk about Iron Man and shit nowadays, man. I remember back in the 90s, bro. Wesley Snipes and Blade, bro. Wesley Snipes was the shit.
Yo, nigga, he was putting hands.
Demolition Man, bro.
That was the one movie. That was the one movie. And I'm not gonna lie. That was the one movie where I was able to stomach the Hong Kong, because I can't stand Hong Kong fight scenes. It's gratuitous violence. But that's the one movie I was like, yo, this shit is me. Like, I wanted to be that guy. Like, bro, let me get a leather jacket, wear some shades, and fight in the. Ooh, that shit was mean, bro. And the second one when he was fighting Pussy Mouth. The dude off pussy?
Yeah.
Yup, yo, he was busting ass in all of them, bro.
The dude took Blade by the leg and slammed him on the column like a motherfucking
like a
shit. And if we talk about 90s grid violence, bro, let's talk about Mortal Kombat.
Nah, Mortal Kombat was weak, bro.
Come on, man. That was like, bro, the song would always get me hyped up, man.
The song got me
hyped.
Van Damme? But that shit was weak, bro.
Mortal Kombat.
Nah, man, I'm telling you, Bruce and Chuck got me into the martial arts supply stores when I was a kid, man, and hooked on 70s kung fu movies.
What about Van Damme?
No, it was the Kumite, bro. And it's if there was a movie that really made me start watching martial arts movies, because I was never big on those. It was Bloodsport, bro. And then I got into all the other stuff. Jeff Speakman, The Perfect Weapon, all that shit. American Ninja with Michael Dudikoff, all that shit. That shit was dope, too. Michael Dudikoff was low-key that dude. He's like a B-tier action guy because he's in all American Ninja movies and all that bullshit. But it started with the Kumite, bro.
Any of you guys ever check out any of the Sonny Chiba movies, man?
I remember Sonny Chiba, but I didn't watch his shit. Him, Sammo Hung, all them cats. They all had
the only Sonny Chiba I know is from Camp Low. Real talk.
Finish him. I dig
it.
Man, the 90s was such a crazy time.
Samurai movies, man.
Wait, let me ask y'all this right quick. Like, they came out with a movie.
Wait. I gotta stop this blasphemy. Bro, Lionheart was not better than Bloodsport, bro. You fucking wildin', bro. Nobody on this. Yo, bro, you don't believe that, Syph. You don't believe that.
Nah.
He fighting in them jeans with that punk ass haircut. It's not even a haircut. All you do is put Vaseline on.
Only people that bro, anyone who says that, real talk, is like women who like Van Damme more. Like, come on now, bro.
That was one of the worst Van Damme movies. Nowhere to Run with the mullet was better than that shit.
The question is,
he was a cop.
What's the best Van Damme movie?
The best Van Damme movie is it's between Bloodsport. It's one more that I'm thinking of because I ain't going front. That movie with Rodman was type dope.
I know one.
Kickboxer.
Hard Target. That's one of my favorite ones by him.
Hard Target was good.
Hard Target was good, but what about Cyborg? I like this world.
I still haven't seen that.
Kickboxer wasn't
you
bad.
Haven't seen Cyborg?
That's probably the only one of his movies I haven't seen. I gotta watch that.
Do you guys remember that cheesy capoeira movie? I forgot the name of it though.
Only over the top. Over the top. No, it was over the top where they was fighting.
Only the strong.
Yeah, with motherfucking
Mark the Cascos, whatever. Yeah, right.
And the other motherfucker, Julia Roberts' brother, Eric brother.
Eric Roberts. What's the movie that had him as a boxer or a fighter?
Kickboxer, I think.
No. Eric Roberts. He was in some sort of like kickboxing movie.
Best of the best.
Best of the best. Yeah.
Best of the best. And it was the other whack shit in the early 90s, Rooftops. For some reason, I don't even understand the premise of this movie. Why the fuck are y'all fighting on rooftops? Do you want to get thrown off the building?
Bro,
I'm just tossing motherfuckers. Fuck that, just fighting. You're getting tossed.
The way you wrote a movie in the 80s, you could tell they had a formula in the 80s for writing movies to where certain shit doesn't have to make. And I'm like, yo, you telling me that y'all want to get it on and you only do it on why? Do you want to come off the building?
Snorting a mountain of cocaine does that.
Say you get fucked up.
It was the 80s.
I'm throwing niggas.
Yeah, because they think they can fly after that much coke.
That was literally, don't believe me, look it up. That's the movie. They do capoeira, the Brazilian shit on the roof. And I'm like, why do y'all keep fighting? Like, look, I'll fight you, bro. But can we fight on the stairs at least? On downstairs?
Yeah, can we fight at sea level?
On the roof, bro.
Yo, man, you know what? The one thing that this fucking live is gonna make me do is gonna make me go rewatch my childhood movies, man. God damn.
You think I'm not? I got my Amazon Prime ready to. I bought all the old 80s shits, bro. All the old 80s shit.
I gotta rewatch Aliens, Predator, RoboCop. Listen, I miss RoboCop.
3 o'clock high, right? I shit you not. It's one of the most well done scenes, and I'm big on movies. I gotta tell you that when they both come into just go to this part. When they both come into the parking lot and the way they set that atmosphere, old boy open the door, whole school outside, people lined up to watch him fight. Oh boy, that scene is mega, bro. Like they don't even do scenes like that that's that good that have that kind of build up no more. And I'm like, damn, you telling me they did this on a $5 million budget and y'all motherfuckers spending all this money out here can't get atmosphere in a scene.
Let me tell you this. This is how I know you're a movie buff, Jules. You talk about the specific lens. You talk about the specific camera. You talk about directors. You talk about the little nuance.
That's not cap. I used to my dream when I was a child. This is the one regret I have that I didn't get into film because that's when I was a little kid. That's literally what I wanted to do. I understood what the director does. The only reason I know how to draw is because obviously I didn't have camera equipment. So you have to draw what you want to see. I never liked drawing per se, but it was the only way to get that out. They're like, well, this is what I would want the scene to look like. And then you write on my bullshit or whatever. That's the
why boxing? Why do you like niggas getting punched in their face?
Oh nah, it was listen, the atmosphere of Chavez versus Camacho, right? That's what made me a boxing fan. That week, the whole block, no, for real, my whole block was lit waiting for that fight. And that's one of the earliest childhood memories that I have, that the whole block, you know, they chipped in for the pay-per-view or whatever it was. I don't even remember if it was a pay-per-view, but I remember the whole block. We all congregated, fight party. That shit was just surreal, bro. But that's when I became a boxing fan. I probably caught 1 or 2 boxing matches before that, just because everybody on my block was big on boxing. But that was the fight where I remember, like, that's when I became a boxing fan.
Jules, we have to have a
Can you
90s
expand a little
boxing
bit?
stream.
Like, that's very fascinating. Can you like explain a little more about what that atmosphere was like at that time in New York, that period?
It was like, that was, bro, I'm gonna say this, and I've said this before. New York pre 9/11 is not New York post 9/11.
At all.
At all. Like it's just I can't put my finger on what is it that's different. But
9/11, bro. That's what.
No, but you know there's something.
Yeah, there's no towers.
Not that. I mean, it's.
But you got to remember, when stuff like that happens, something that traumatic and something that
it kind of. I feel like it. I feel like it reminded every. I feel like not reminded.
Mortality.
It woke everyone up to there's a world outside of New York, because one thing that all New Yorkers think is we the shit, or at least we thought we the shit, that you can't fuck with us, you can't fuck with our city. And I just kind of feel like because that happened, they're like, yo, y'all can get it, don't get it twisted, y'all can get it, y'all get hit it same way them towns get blown up over there, y'all get it. You know what I mean?
So that's but you gotta remember, back in the day, I'm born in 96, so I'm a young kid. So this is just what I've seen from growing up and, you know, looking at it back in the day. Back in the day, people never thought that, you know, they could get it like that, like you said. And also, yo, if we ever really had beef with you, we fighting it out, or we shooting it out. We not coming to the extreme that, yo, we're going to hijack a couple planes, and ride those planes into buildings where people are working, bro. Like, no one ever thought about that extremism.
One thing you might have noticed in cinema is directors often would blow up New York for an effect, because a lot of times people thought of New York as, I guess, the pinnacle of something or whatever. You know, like Independence Day.
Let's keep it a buck. It really was. Like, think about it. But once the World Trade Center got blown up, people don't understand. We get to a little mini recession. People don't understand how much commerce was going through that. Like, my pop said this: the World Trade Center was so big it had its own zip code. How.
What I'm saying is more along the lines of New Yorkers didn't realize that, like, yeah, you could be touched. Like, real shit is going on. Maybe what it is that real shit has always been going on in the world. Like Black September. Real shit has always been going on in the world. Planes didn't start getting hijacked in 9/11. They've been getting hijacked. Shit like it. And that woke up, I feel, New Yorkers and the country to, you are not immune to war. Don't think you're immune to war because you got your whole, like, you're not immune. You could be touched. You could be gotten to.
You can be affected in some way.
I came to America, I believe it was August 15th, 2001. So I remember I only got to experience like pre 9/11 America for a couple of months.
No, for 1 month, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
For 1 month, literally.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, I remember it was a heck. I mean, dude, I remember air travel used to be so much easier pre 9/11.
Well, see, like I grew up in San Francisco, right? Things were so much different when I was coming up to the way they are now. It's just night and day.
Yeah.
You know, just like you said, it's like the stuff that we knew back then, it's all gone.
It's something, I don't know what it is. Like I said, it's not just, there's something about it that I
it's an energy.
I can't put my finger on it, but something, there's New York before that, and there's New York after that. So to go back to that time of Chavez and Camacho, it was just different, man. The summers was hot as a motherfucker.
Straight up.
Like, they was hot as a motherfucker, man. But
like straight up and down, bro.
Motherfuckers did a lot of shit. It's hard to describe, but it's like, it felt like a different world. And that's the best way I could put it.
We had an atmosphere too when that fight was on, man. Because I was over at my friend's house and there was a bunch of us over there watching it. It was crazy. Yeah, I see. But like for me, what got me into boxing was watching George Foreman, Ali, and Frazier on TV box as a kid.
Yeah, like
I was hooked.
How old are you, country? How old are you,
What?
country? How old are you?
54.
You're 54?
Big
Yes,
fights
sir.
had a different feel back then. Like
I'm an
one thing that you
OG compared to a lot of you guys.
one thing that big fights have that you rarely feel anymore is the fight was so big and you was waiting for it so long that you almost, once they do the ring walks, I could never believe that the fight was happening. That was always a thing for me that like even up until Manny and Floyd, that was the last time I really felt that I can't believe they're fighting.
Do you know?
Finally, you know?
Because it was different. Like you see how things are now that we talk about a fight all the way up until the buildup of a fight. You know that the old world wasn't like that. It wasn't as constant every day.
Well, I mean, it was like back then. It's like we got the fights we wanted.
Other than delays, you could deal with any ring walk ever after waiting on Prince Nassim Hamed to come out to the ring, man, because that dude took longer than anybody.
I would say more. You got fights that were literally bigger than today's fights. That's one, because Trinidad versus De La Hoya was huge, especially in
that was a monster. That was a monster
huge, right? So you were getting.
We had Nassim Hamed versus Kevin Kelly, bro.
All right, hold on. You were getting bigger fights back then than the fights you're getting now, right? And you didn't have things that watered down the moment, because there's a lot of things now that water down the moment, like Crawford and Spence. It's like, bro, like we've been arguing about this fight for 4 years.
No, dude,
the thing is too, is another thing I want to add to that is that I don't think people understand that back at least from my vantage point, is back in like the 80s and the 90s, you didn't have so many options when it came to things. So when something would come on TV, it was
like an event.
I mean, think about it. We talk about boxing all the time. We talk about every week there's a fight. There's a fight. After I get so repetitious, there's so many options now that there's no buildup for those huge moments because we're so connected.
One at a time. Let them finish.
Because we're so connected to each other now that it dilutes everything down more. So you don't get those buildups anymore because the fact is that we're so connected through social media and through the internet. So it doesn't have as much merit. It doesn't feel like.
I feel like it's that, but it's also that the fights are not as big. They're just not as big. Look, like Trinidad versus De La Hoya was huge, bro. Even when Roy went up to heavyweight, that was fucked. Everybody was talking about that Roy going to heavyweight, even though it was for John Ruiz, but it was like still Roy going up to heavyweight, bro. Motherfucking De La Hoya and Floyd, that was a big one also because of the fucking 24/7. That was a big one. You don't get that feel like that no more.
Jules, you guys want a big one, man? Hagler Leonard. I crammed 30 people into my living room from my neighborhood. I had to open the windows because it was too hot. We were all in there watching that fight. That was big.
But country, since you've seen the best of both worlds, tell me that the fights weren't bigger back then. Didn't they feel bigger?
Yes.
They felt bigger, like yo, it was a must-see TV kind of feel. Whereas now, it's you know.
Jules, but Jules, like you were saying, can I talk? So I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
But Jules, the mediums of to view fights were limited. Like you guys said, like for example, back in Britain, there was only ITV and Sky Sports. Like, for example, if you're going to watch like Jaron McClellan versus Nigel Benn, you're only going to watch that on ITV. And you were only going to see Nigel Benn and Jaron McClellan in certain places. You weren't going to see those things. Like, it was like technology was great, but it's also been a hindrance. The more connected we are, it's great. You can have more money opportunities, more lucrative. But it's not as special as it once was. Like, for example, I can imagine Chavez and Camacho, bro, Mexico versus Puerto Rico in New York. It's ridiculous. Like,
let's say this.
For example,
Crawford and Spence had that, believe it or not, if they
did. I know what you're talking about.
They would have did it when they needed to do it. That fight had that. When you finally seen my man Bud with the Timbs on, with the black Skelly Boom Boom and the black hoodie, bro. And then you have bitch ass Errol with his little red whatever, his bitch shit, little Red Riding Hood bitch shit. That shit was surreal seeing those two men in that room because the fans has been at each other's throats over this fight. So when we finally saw them in the same space, it was like, yo, B, we gonna get the fight. You know what I mean? And then
Jules, so
3 4 years later, no.
Nothing. No, but still,
Jules, I gotta ask you this. Jules, I gotta ask you this. When Nassim Hamed came to MSG, where were you? Like, did you watch that fight, or were you into
I didn't watch that fight in that time, in that era? I didn't watch a lot of those lower weights in that era.
Yeah,
and the only reason I was watching Camacho and Chavez was because there was a lot of Puerto Rocks around. And I had heard of Chavez, and my grandpops was big on Chavez. So that's how I was. Remember, I'm a kid when this. So I was familiar with him. Like, I knew Chavez. And just off of knowing Chavez and not knowing much about Camacho, go my man Chavez. It wasn't all, like, sophisticated, like I was watching fucking footage.
Well,
Studying Chavez. Like,
but that was in '93. Like, yo, how old? So you said you were born 81.
Well, I ain't going to tell
81?
you on, but I was young. I wasn't old.
Jules, I don't know about you. Like, I don't know how was the '90s like boxing scenes here in America. And over there when I was a kid in Ukraine, the way it was at, like these big. For example, the biggest fight I remember as a kid was Evander Holyfield versus Tyson, the first one. But we had everyone from my family pitch in for like just enough together, and we would all go in our living room just on our small ass shitty TV that would overheat and probably burn down the house if it played long enough. We would watch
better, bro. The fights were better. Like, what I remember about that era is the fights were better. The fighters were meaner, and we, in many ways, hindsight being 2020, took it for granted because you had fights, and I always bring him up. He's one of my favorites, Ray Mercer. You don't have fighters like that they're gonna fight that fucking hard. You got guys with belts that don't fight that fucking hard. He fight like he trying to destroy you, fam. Watch that Mercer versus Lewis.
That's like the night.
That was a great fight.
Mercer versus Lewis. Mercer versus them. He fight hard. Like, look at what he did to Tommy. Like, the dude was this is the perspective. You had a guy like Ray, and we often talk about it, but I don't think people process it. If you had a guy with that kind of dog in this era, nobody beats him.
He becomes a champion.
People are dying, bro. People are dying. Let's keep it
gonna die. Ringside, motherfuckers go like, ah.
Honestly, like also y'all, like, even though David Tua came up short back then, I think he'd be a champ in this era.
I think he would, yeah.
Let's talk about Lewis and Tyson, bro. Even though Mike Tyson gave Lewis step aside money, when that fight came, it was surreal.
Nah, not for me because I knew he was finished. I grew up with Mike. I grew up
past it by that point.
I was about 18 or 19, and I told the story before. I was working at a spot. I made $100 bet, and it hurt because that was my man. I love Mike, but I was like, nah, this British dude is gonna get him. He's too big, and he's cerebral. At that time, I knew this dude is not getting past Lennox jab. You're not what you was in '86 and way back. Yeah, like, you're not what you was.
He was too slow. He slowed down too much.
You know what? The night Tyson got knocked out, man, I stayed home to watch the fight, and I was supposed to go to work. And I waited until the fight, and I saw him get knocked out. I get to work, and I told my boss, "Oh, I was stuck in traffic." He goes, "Yeah, was that before or after the fight?"
One of the biggest fights
he broke me off, man. I couldn't say nothing, but
he already knew.
I had to be late for that, man. It was Tyson, man, and I was running around bragging to people, "Hey, Tyson got knocked out," afterwards.
Bro, but when he got and that's how different it was. When Tyson got knocked out, the world stopped.
Literally
stopped. Like,
literally
he got knocked out.
Yeah, everybody was shocked.
Country, since you're the elder statesman on this chat.
Yes. Sir.
So when Buster Douglas pulled off the impossible, what was your first thought? Like, what the fuck just happened?
I was in literal shock. My jaw was on the ground because I didn't think he was going to knock Tyson out, and he pulverized.
He was dominant too, bro. He was.
Yeah. He had to beat the shit out of Mike to get him down and keep him down. He had to beat the shit out of him.
He had to beat the dog shit out of him.
Like, honestly,
Mike had no head movement, and he just kept getting hit over and over, and it started taking a toll. And the next thing you know, down he goes, and then he's trying to pick up his mouthpiece, hanging all out of the side of his mouth, and I was like, "Oh shit, he got knocked out!" I was
bro, it wasn't. Look, when he got knocked out, it wasn't no thoughts. It was like he getting knocked out. Like, it wasn't no thoughts. It wasn't no words. It was like, on some shit. And I ain't gonna front. That's what happened when Roy got slid under that ring too. I was like,
yo, bro, that hurt me. That hurt me deeply. Bro, Tarver was talking uncontrollable, greasy shit.
Couldn't be stopped, couldn't be touched, couldn't be rocked until fucking Tarver, bro.
One of my
and Tarver, when he slid him under the rope, bro.
Nah, bro. That Roy was a fucking Capricorn. I was telling everybody, he's a Capricorn, right? I tell everybody that shit.
How the hell?
Can I ask a question then?
Though?
I wanted to ask. So like, who was which boxer would you say was, or boxers were most representative of that era, like that '90s era? Not in terms like who's most popular, but like who embodied the era most? Do you think?
James Toney.
James Toney, that's a fact.
Yeah,
James motherfucking
If you want to talk
Toney.
about the toughness, if you want to talk about the expectation, right, of a fighter, from a fan perspective, the expectation, we expected guys to be like James because James was with the shit and he talked shit and he hit hard and he could box his ass off. So the real ambassador is not going to be Roy per se, even though Roy embodied those things and you see that in his career. But I would say when I think of that era, I think of James and guys like James. They're like, they just like, bro, they're going to talk their shit. They're not going to put up with you. Like, remember, Bernard threw a Puerto Rican flag on the floor and stepped
in Puerto Rico. If
you did that shit today, it'll be a national incident.
Yep.
Bro, let me.
What's that, Chris? Did anybody ever see the interview where James Toney took shots at Chris Eubank and Nigel Benn?
Oh yeah.
Yep, I watched that, bro.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. Does anybody remember the Simon Brown knockout where he got knocked out and he was laying on the floor?
By Vincent Petway? When he got hit with that left hook?
He was
still
I remember.
jabbing. Oh my God!
Laying on the floor, knocked out. He was still jabbing.
Oh.
That shit was terrible.
I did see that.
That shit was terrible.
That was crazy.
Motherfucker was flat on his back, still throwing punches. I remember that.
He was doing Blair Cobb, except he was on the ground.
Punches.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but this is what I was gonna say about the '90s and like, for example, like James Toney. That it was just like an era of mean guys that come from a real place. Like they didn't have much. Like you can see it. Like the kids in the hood right now, they have more opportunities than the kids in the hood from like the 80s, the 90s, the 70s, going all the way back.
Even the pundits with some spicy ass motherfuckers. Like Larry Merchant really gonna sit here and argue with Bernard that he fought a mandatory. Like people don't.
Yup, bro. Let's keep it a buck, bro. Like also like Reg Gutridge, like these guys were real guys. Like 90s boxing was real. Purnell, yes, like it was just like they were skillful, they were violent, they were real. Like it's like I understand why these older folks like, yeah, bro, like it wasn't what it once was, but like they can't get mad at it because at the end of the day, times change. Like Jules always says this. Tough times make hard people, and hard people make easy times that make soft people. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But like, like I'm gonna say this though. My last thing on this. James Toney's most perfect performance was against Iran Barkley.
Yep.
Like I've never, like if you ever want to perform in front of millions of people and you want to perform at the best at the highest of heights, it's James Toney versus Iran Barkley. He didn't do a thing wrong in that fight.
Hey Chris, he had a great fight against Vasily Girov though too, man.
That's great, but I'm talking about in terms of dominance. James Toney didn't lose a second against Iran Barkley, and I rock with my bro from Uptown, but Uptown did not look good against the Midwest at all.
James Toney, my God, chill out.
But I wanted to ask.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna ask, like, so, like, people say that like NBA players don't come from the trenches anymore. Do you guys think that's what that's what's happening with boxing? I'm just asking as someone who's younger. Like, this is my
absolutely, bro. Boxing is a poor man's sport, and if you go back to those old eras, that's what you're looking at, though. You're looking at dudes that ain't have a lot. Whereas now you got Ryan Garcia.
Was privileged, probably grew up in a nice home, didn't have to work.
And I don't got nothing against Devin, right? I don't got nothing against Devin, so I don't say this as a shot at him. But you have a 23, 24-year-old who's touching M's. He not going to have the hunger that them kids had back then.
Yep, exactly.
It doesn't
He's
feel
not going to have it.
It doesn't feel like with boxing anymore when you watch it, the way they move and the way they talk, is that most of them, it seems like it's about money and not about the actual true, like, deep love of the sport and wanting to dominate. I feel like it's more like
you romanticizing it, bro. You romanticizing it. Don't get it twisted. Money was the motivator, but those was killers that was motivated.
Right.
It's a difference. These is not killers that's motivated. These is business guys that are motivated.
But you have to understand they were killers because they had nothing else. They had nothing else. These young kids have something.
Look, the difference that you see from those guys back then is those were killers. These guys is not that. Even the best of, well, I ain't gonna front. Terrence is a murderer, but
he's a killer.
Oh, yeah,
he's a killer.
He's a killer. Back in the 80s and 90s,
you can see that. Usyk is a killer too. Look at his eye. Like, that dude's a killer, bro. You don't see he got it? He got it. It's just that it's not a lot of other guys that got it. And that's what I really noticed, that a lot of these guys not killers, man. Like, come on. Kambosos is a killer?
They're not like Hagler or Duran or Tony or some of these other guys that are just all hardcore and hungry and good, man. They're not like that.
They're not. Like, bro, like, look, you take Gervonta Davis, who's supposed to be a puncher in this era, right? Throw him in there with Duran. Let's do it.
Come on, but like, you gotta remember, Duran. Throw anybody in there with Duran. That's not super duper special and better than him.
I'm just saying that if you compare the guy, right? Duran was the guy at lightweight a couple of eras ago. Okay, well, one of the guys that's supposed to be a guy, some kind of guy, in this era is Gervonta Davis.
You know what Duran would have done to Gervonta Davis? Like,
you know what I'm about to say? Let me say this. He could fight Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell, Vasyl Lomachenko in the same night, on the same night,
not lose a round, and not lose a round.
Yeah,
and that's not cap. Like, that dude was a killer. Fam, that dude was a killer, bro. Look,
it was special, bro.
Old school Leonard from welterweight, bro. Unleash him on these Keith Thurmans and Danny. Unleash him.
They wouldn't know what to do.
Bro,
I would love to see Leonard versus Terrence Crawford.
Ray Leonard hit Danny Garcia, he would turn into Puerto Rican sand.
He learned Spanish.
Y'all know
He transformed into a dish of mofongo, dude. One punch, pow!
Just be like that dude was a killer, fam.
Y'all know what scares me about Bud? Like, I don't think we've ever seen him truly angry, because y'all remember, like, what movie was it? The second Avengers movie, when Hulk was fighting Iron Man, and Iron Man knocked out his tooth. If you like hit Bud like really hard in the ring, if it was me, if I actually hit him like real hard, he'll turn and look at me like, I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry.
It's just, when I think about that era of just the guys that were around, just those guys that were around, the average dude, not even the best dude, because we talking about the Leonards and the hat, and even the average dude, bro. Like, all right, Mugabe.
Even your run-of-the-mill champion.
Mugabe at 54 beats most of these guys at 54.
Yes, he
Jules,
does.
Yes, he
look at
does.
this fanboy in the
Oh,
audience.
imagine Hagler at 54.
Fernando Vargas, bro, unleash him. These guys ain't gonna know what to. Even Ricardo Mayorga, the shit talk was better, bro.
I mean, like, see, this is how I knew that Marvin Hagler was really with the shit. It's like, he fought Mugabe when he was ranked number 1 in all the sanctioning bodies. It was number 1 for all his belts, and he fought him undefeated, 26-0 with 26 knockouts. You see anybody?
But he wouldn't fight Mike McCallum. I don't know why. He wouldn't fight Mike McCallum.
He didn't fight Mike. That's true. I mean, but still, bottom line, Mugabe was number 1 for all his shits, and he fought the man.
Let me keep it a buck with you. I think Mike McCallum would have beat the living shit out of John Mugabe because Mugabe didn't train.
Wait. Look at this retard. Bro, y'all think, this dude really think he know boxing. This dude really think he know boxing.
What the hell?
This nigga's crazy.
I even gonna argue with you, yo.
This nigga's crazy.
He said all Duran do is punch hard. Yo, I even go argue with that. Like,
Jules, make me a moderator. Jules, make me a moderator.
You know which fighter actually borrows a lot from Duran that this dude wouldn't say can't box? Floyd Mayweather.
Yo, it's wild to me that somebody could sit, like, if you don't know about Duran and that inside game and how he roll and ride and bring up, like, bro, don't even. I can't like, we not.
Duran can fight on the outside too. A lot of people fail to realize that Duran had a very good straight
punch. Not in the same multiverse, bro. In his multiverse, Gervonta Davis is Durant. We not in.
Oh my God, I don't even want to hear that, bro. Please.
Yeah,
But
I watched all of Durant's fights.
I can't believe what I just read.
He was really like a defensive fighter. A lot of people really don't give him that credit.
Bro, let's
like
look at
a defense.
Why do you think Mike Tyson loves Durant? Like, if you watch Durant was a slick, violent dude. Like, the majority of those fighters back in the 80s, like the Four Kings, like, let's put Mike McCallum and Wilfred Benitez in there.
I gotta champ this shit because I gotta be an asshole now. I'm sorry, Chris, I have to cut you off. Listen, bro.
Do you think?
Listen, bro. You don't know shit about boxing, bro. Don't hit me with I didn't say Durant. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. If you sitting here trashing Durant for Davis, you don't even watch boxing no more, bro. Just watch golf because you sound fucking retarded. Literally, like you sound retarded.
Retarded in the worst way. Like, yo, bro.
First off, you
on the spectrum, my nigga.
Like you and like Durant was smooth. See, this is what this era is used to. They think defense, and I'm going to say it like that shit just. I was about to go to sleep till that. They think defense is fighting like a bitch, running away.
Straight up.
No, they don't know that defense is not fighting like a bitch. Defense
is
standing
in front of dudes.
Defense is riding the punch or slipping the jab. That's defense. But your idea of defense is to run around the ring like Rigo. That's what you think is defense. Let me just stay away and pot shot and run. That's not defense, fam. You just don't want to fight. Rigo
used to stand in the pocket and trade though, but like now he's running.
But you know what I'm referencing.
I feel you.
Like,
I know what you think.
Motherfuckers really think that defense in boxing is fighting like you scared. That's not defense. The slickest of the slick, Pernell Whitaker, stayed in the pocket.
That's defense.
He stood in front of you.
Stayed in the pocket.
Stayed in the pocket. Floyd stayed in the pocket.
That's fucking defense. If you so far on the outside that the motherfucker can't, you're not defending shit, bro. You're running away. You're not defending.
There's no action coming your way. There's no action coming your way.
You way out there.
There's nothing to defend against.
Where are you defending from?
I really wish more trainers were around, like Ray Arcel, Custy Amato, and
somebody trying to trash Durant for Gervonta Davis. Like,
please make this a clip. Make this a clip. Make this a clip. Please.
Yeah. Put him on blast.
Now let's talk about Roberto Durant.
Yo, look.
Let's talk about Roberto Durant.
Shit about Hagler. Guys like him. Guys like him probably think Hagler was a brawler, not knowing he's slipping and riding a lot of that shit, getting around a lot of that shit because he's not running away like a bitch. Because your idea of defense is fighting like a bitch.
He has to get on
and
the
he's catching shots. He's countering.
He's asking to get
from
on
both stances.
Come on.
Get in the league.
Bro, I don't got the patience for that shit. And I'm about to go to sleep. It's about to be 12. But I'm like, yo, you really going to trash Durant for Davis? Bro.
Now let him on the league. Let's really put him on a highlight reel. But before we let him on, let me tell you this. Durant can do it all. He can fight from the outside, contrary to popular belief. On the inside, he was a monster. He could do it all. Like how on earth are you gonna say Gervonta?
My thunder? You don't know what the fuck you talking about, bro. You sound stupid. Even Floyd ranked Durant high, fam. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You
borrowed a lot of them.
You tried to belittle Durant. You said he was just a puncher. That seriously? I can't believe yo, dog. Have you ever actually seen Durant fight?
Yo, Bang Gang 1, you know you on camera, right? You're on camera.
This is
being broadcasted.
This is the poster child. This is the exact kind of person I be talking about. I know on guard. This man has never seen Durant fight.
I watched Durant fight, man. Yo,
this man has never seen Durant fight. On guard. Durant is just what?
Do you not know what Durant used to do to bigger dudes, bro? Come on, B.
My man went from lightweight to middleweight.
And Durant
to super middleweight, damn near.
Still beating fools, man.
And he was competitive. Do you think Gervonta Davis could go up to middleweight right now and bang with middleweights? Because my man did. Fuck is you talking about?
Not only did he made it look easy at times, bro. Like, yo, bro, for him to go.
Look at the rebuttal. Instead of naming a fight, or referencing something that shows that he knows who you don't know that, bro. You have never seen Duran fight. The most you know about Duran, you heard from motherfuckers like me. You have never seen Duran fight. Get the fuck out my face, B. Fuck is you talking about? Just admit. I don't know what the fuck Duran is, who he is. You probably thought Duran was a band. Duran. You don't even know we talking about a boxer. What the fuck is you talking about?
Yo, Duran was them niggas in the 80s, bro. They were them niggas in the 80s, bro. But like, yo, Duran.
Listen. Duran was named after Roberto Duran, the boxer.
Miles Davis made a song called Duran off the Jack Johnson sessions,
Miles Davis named himself Miles Davis because of Gervonta Davis.
Stop it, bro. Don't do that. Miles Davis is one of the greatest. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Bro, we just gonna say dumb shit tonight. Miles Davis, real name, he only named himself Davis because of Gervonta Davis.
Stop it, bro. I love Miles Davis. This is one of the greatest 20th century artists of all time. We're not gonna do that to Miles Davis.
No, we just here to say dumb shit tonight. Duran started at $120. He's still not the funny shit is he's still not saying what do you know about Duran, bro? Don't help him, nobody. If you know Duran, tell me who gave Duran his first professional loss. You know Duran, right? Do not help him, please. I don't need no brainiacs in the comments. If this man knows Duran and knows about Duran, surely he could tell me who beat him first.
Yeah, tell us.
And at what weight? Well, what I love about this stupid fucking generation is they can't shut the fuck up and listen. They rather talk and pretend they know what they talking about. So if you know what you talking about, right? You know Duran. Don't go to BoxRec. Who beat him? And at what weight? Tell me.
We said I don't need no help. Let me know. Tell us in the comments.
Go ahead then. Tell me. I'm about to let him on just cause.
Right.
Just cause. Tell me who beat him. Tell me who beat him.
Come on down.
Duran is just a puncher. And Matt, yo.
This nigga's a nasty nigga, B. Like that funny style shit, nigga. Like, come on, B. Like, yo, bro. Like, I'm a nigga, B. So, like, I don't claim him. I don't claim him at all, B. I do not claim him at all.
Like, the violation, and it's this generation, bro.
Where
they won't have not a clue about a subject and still want to act. Like, why you just say, I don't know nothing about Duran? Or maybe I should watch this guy because of what they saying. Nah, they want to act. Fam, you don't know nothing about no fucking Roberto Duran.
No, he's saying I said that, and I meant, why aren't you on yet? The link's there.
Get that
bro, the link is right there, bro.
Oh, now you don't want to come. See, I knew this. Didn't I tell you?
Why you think I don't want to waste my time with these people? Why you think I don't want to waste my time with these? They go. Okay. Go ahead, bro. Tell me what you know about Duran, bro. Just tell me what you know about Duran, bro.
Listen, bro. Hold on.
You said Duran is just a puncher. How many Duran fights?
Now listen, bro. Because I'm not here to argue and do all that back and forth, bro. All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying, bro. Because you niggas was talking real greasy about a nigga, bro. Y'all don't even know me. I just got me people. Hold on. I ain't in my feelings. Just let me holler at you. All I'm saying is, bro, the footwork, the speed, the IQ, and the power of a Tank Davis at 130, 135, where Duran was his best at lightweight. Am I lying? Was Duran or was he not? Was he or was he not his best at lightweight?
You know, Duran beat Aaron Barkley, bro, at 160. Let's keep it a buck. Stop that.
Bro, that's cool. Listen to what I'm saying. That's cool.
Right, no. Let me talk. I didn't interrupt you. Let me talk. Gervonta Davis couldn't knock out Yuriorki Scott. He needed 12 rounds for Gamboa at lightweight.
Right.
12 rounds. Right. And Gamboa had a torn Achilles tendon. Gamboa ain't no motherfucking Duran. Isaac Cruz took Isaac Cruz also at lightweight. Isaac Cruz took him the distance. Isaac Cruz is not no Roberto Duran. So whatever you talk about the speed and the power and the accuracy, He already showing you he not no Duran at no 135.
Right.
Not if you can't fucking knock out. Not if you can't fucking knock out a damn Tyson Cruz.
Okay, so look, but this the thing. This the thing. If we real boxing fans, why are we just going off who can knock out who and who can't knock out what?
So if you So if you a real boxing fan, like you said, tell me who was the first to beat Duran and where? You a real boxing fan, right?
Bro, listen to what I'm saying.
Do you know?
Listen what I'm saying. Listen, bro. I've been watching boxing since I was a youngin', bro.
So who gave Duran his first professional loss? Who gave Duran his first professional loss? You a boxing fan that been watching boxing since you was a young kid. You know Duran, right? That's why you said what you said, that he just a puncher.
Right. I don't know. You right. I don't know who Duran is. I think whoever the fuck Duran is, whatever y'all said, whoever that is, I don't know who the fuck that is. I know who Roberto Duran is, has a stone.
Who gave his first loss? Who gave his first loss?
Listen, bro, like I told you in the chat, bro, I'm not here to argue with nobody, bro. I'm just here to state my opinion, bro. This ain't got nothing to do with that.
Fuck about your opinion.
Was that
shit?
Was
you
that
watch
Tyrone Woodley?
Don't talk. You watch Gervonta Davis, and I'm not going to come at the man because the man ain't come at me. So I'm not going to do that. What I am going to say is you watch Gervonta Davis go 12 rounds with a one-legged Gamboa who was knocked down 20 times leading up to that fight. He was knocked down 20 times leading up to the Davis fight. He got knocked out in 7 rounds by Castellanos, a journeyman. And this is who you comparing to Duran. I don't need you to tell me you don't know Duran. I could tell you don't know Duran just off of that. Gervonta Davis went 12 rounds with Isaac Cruz. Who the fuck is Isaac Cruz?
Late replacement.
Julius, clip this up now. Clip it up. This is disgusting.
Now, what I'm going to say is simple. You don't have to admit that you don't know nothing about Roberto Duran. We all can tell. The whole panel is diverse from different parts of the world. And we all agree. This man don't know nothing about no Duran to be trying to have a discussion about Davis and Duran. You don't know nothing about the man. So until you do, I'm not going to entertain you because that's stupid. What you look like arguing with me about Duran and you don't know nothing about Duran?
You got to sample that. I don't give a fuck about your opinion into the reload. That was amazing.
It's stupid. I'm going to give it to Mark because Mark is more calm than me.
Hey Mark.
How you doing, brother?
Let me say this.
Hi, guys.
What makes me angry about it, it's not that he doesn't know Duran. There's a lot of old fighters that I don't know about. It's not that. Is you literally trying to argue a subject you don't know jack shit about. That's what bothers me. Like, fam, when I don't know something, I don't talk. I listen. When Mark start talking about fighters from the Harry Greb era, I don't talk. I listen. What you do in your generation is argue shit you don't know because you're too proud to admit you don't know what you're talking about. That makes me angry. Listen and learn. Stop arguing shit you don't know. No, Gervonta Davis is not Duran level just because you like him. What kind of girl ass shit is that?
I was like this argument I had this one time with someone telling me how Tank was greater than Alexis Arguello.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Not better, not more skilled, not evolution of boxing. None of those arguments.
Oh,
greater.
I gotta calm down. My blood pressure, my blood pressure high. I'm like, yo, fam, like, we really gonna sit here and compare the virtues of, yo, listen, De Jesus is better than Davis. I don't give a shit. De Jesus is better than Davis.
Kobayashi is better than Davis. What you mean, bro?
Which was fought in New York City, Madison Square Garden. That's where he had his first loss.
Yeah, against Esteban de Jesus, and contrary to popular belief, the bout took place at the junior lightweight division. Contrary to popular belief.
The next time he fought him, he knocked him out.
And then he knocked him out again after that.
I could see if you was talking like there's arguments like, look, Vasyl Lomachenko is a 3-division champion, right? I don't think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread like some people. I don't. And he cannot carry Duran's spit bucket. Lomachenko can't go to middleweight and be competitive with the best middleweight of this era. Duran did that, though. He did that. And this is who you go. Davis and Duran don't belong on the same planet. Fuck is y'all talking about? And I'm supposed to have a whole fucking theoretical. How you saying? Can Gervonta Davis go to 160 right now and fight the best middleweight? Goofy ass shit. Mark, take it away because I'm blood pressure high. My blood pressure
I can't, bro. You've got me laughing too much since you said I don't give a fuck about your opinion, bro.
Jules is about to bust a vein out of the side of his forehead.
Because this shit is childish, bro. It's like any other sport on the planet. People understand. Only in well, I gotta tell you, I don't care about your opinion. Am I dealing with opinions?
Am I wrong in this, like comparing Davis to Duran, right? In the context of even their weight divisions that they fought in, isn't that the equivalent of comparing Tim Tebow to Tom Brady?
Might as well. That's how fucking silly this shit is.
The only thing those two have in common is they both are boxers. Besides that, that's pretty much it.
They've both fought at the lightweight division.
Okay, they're both boxers. That's basically it. They're not anywhere in the same universe when it comes to talent and skill.
Bro, I hope that Precisional Power is playing. I hope. I really hope that he's playing, bro.
Oh, they're just coming out of the woodwork tonight, man. It's like, jeez.
Man, they just trolling now. At this point, it's getting ridiculous. They trolling.
All I can say is this simple, bro. It's a lot of guys, like when I hear Beats talking about old era boxing, I don't even try to chime in. I just listen. Mark, same shit. I just listen. Like I'm gonna learn something. These cats, they gotta pretend they know what they talking about because something about what I said hurt their ego. Tank ain't it, bro. Sorry that hurts you, but he ain't it. He ain't beat nobody, bro. Your best win is Pedraza. That's it. Pedraza.
What I'm trying to figure out is where this sudden disrespect for Duran comes from. I've always looked at him as one of the most respected fighters of all time.
Didn't you see he said he's just a puncher?
He said what?
He said he's just a puncher. That's what he started off with in the comments, that he's just a puncher.
God.
Yo, dog.
How many people here think Tank could beat Sugar Ray Leonard?
I do.
Right? And welterweight, yo.
How many people here think Tank could give Marvin Hagler? No, seriously. How many people genuinely think Tank could give Marvin Hagler life and death?
He knocks. He knocks.
Everyone forgets he gave Hagler life and death. Fuck Iran Barkley.
15 rounds for 15 rounds, bro. 15 rounds.
Ivan Barkley got beat when Duran was 37 years old. Do you know how good of a name that Iran Barkley is as a boxer? And that guy's telling me that Tank is a better fighter than him? That's insane.
Oh, my God.
Then I guess we could wait
for Tank last 15 rounds with anyone.
I guess we got to wait for Tank to go up the welterweight, bro. And then we'll know. Because Mark put it better. Mark put it better than I could ever put it, bro. Could Gervonta Davis beat a prime Sugar Ray Leonard?
Fuck that, bro. Could anyone at welterweight today beat a prime Sugar Ray Leonard?
No.
I'm dead ass.
Listen. 5'10", unbeaten, Olympian, fast as fucking lightning, hits like a truck.
Hey,
Tank
beat Wilfred Benitez. Beat Wilfred Benitez.
Hey, Jules, Precision Power says he was only joking, man.
I hope so, bro, because that
he
shit.
He was joking. He
like,
wasn't serious.
I'm turning into that old guy that sends the suit back, bro. I just do not have the patience for dumb shit. I just don't have it. Like, nah, you wilding, fam. You wilding, bro.
How many people on your hand could you count that could actually beat Sugar Ray Leonard through the annuals of boxing? I mean, how many are there out there really? 5, maybe 3, realistically.
bro. I gotta calm down.
I can't answer that. I just can't answer how many people could beat a prime Ray Leonard at 147. It's an impossible question to
today
answer.
would be terrorizing people left and right. Nobody would want to fight him. They'd all be scared.
Think about it. A fantasy fight that people had was Floyd and Leonard. With Duran, you don't have to fantasize. He fucking did that when Leonard was unbeaten. And you telling me Gervonta Davis is fucking with that? Oh my god! I can't.
Jules, you all right? You okay?
I'm telling you, I'm old. My blood pressure, my blood pressure went right to my brain, bro. Like, people fantasize about seeing Floyd and Leonard fight because dope welterweight fight, right? Whatever. With Duran, you don't have to wonder. He did that. He won, and this is who you comparing to.
Oh, it's okay, Jules. Take it easy, man. Calm down.
If you think about it, though, the only person who was able to beat Sugar Ray Leonard in his prime was Duran. The only time he ever lost was like when he was on the back end of his career. When he was
Tommy Hearns in his prime couldn't beat Sugar Ray Leonard.
What does that say?
Almost, yeah. He came
but he did knock the fucking shit out of Duran though. You gotta give him that.
He obliterated Duran. That was
fucking blasted. He blasted. I ain't that's boxing though, bro.
But you know why he did that? He's only a puncher. That's how he was able to do it.
Yep, that's it.
He's only a puncher.
That's it.
That was a monster right hand though, dude. I mean,
because if I would have said that, if the conversation would have drug on, you know what would have happened? He would have started trashing Leonard. That's how they mind work. That because I didn't see the footage and I don't know shit about what I'm talking about, I could say anything. Like, oh, Leonard wasn't that good anyway. If I would have said, that he beat Leonard, right? Prime Leonard, unbeaten Leonard, because I don't actually think he knew that. I don't think he knew that. And if I would have said that, he probably would have started trashing Leonard.
You know the thing, too, that just puts that win in even more perspective is that for like the next 8 years, I think, maybe 6 years, he never lost. So it wasn't like he lost and then he got beat again. So you're thinking, okay, maybe he's not as good as he is. He didn't lose for like 6-7 years after that. That's how good he was. That's how big of a win that is.
Listen, fam. My man went up to welterweight, won like 8 fights before the Leonard fight. Mm-hmm. Most people think he just moved up and fought Leonard. No, he was there for a while, beating motherfuckers at welterweight. If Gervonta Davis is supposed to be fucking with that, when he gonna do it? Because he's 27.
Why hasn't he done it yet?
Shit.
Hey, imagine Wilfredo Benitez today, man. I mean,
bro.
And this is
imagine Carlos Palomino today.
It's a resentment thing. It really is a resentment thing, and it's because those guys like Leonard and Tommy and Marvin and Duran, those were some great motherfuckers. And the reason it's resentment is because the guys today ain't great. Gervonta ain't great. What the fuck is great about him? That he beat Rolly? Dude sat here with the speed and the power
and the
footwork.
Yeah. Don't forget the footwork. That's key.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, can't leave that out. You know what I'm saying?
Isaac Cruz put you on your back foot. What would Duran do to you? Isaac Cruz.
Rolly Romero won every round until he knocked him out.
Like, bro, that shit. My brain stopped and hit pause. I was like, I'm not, but I can't have this. I'm too smart for this. I mean, can't have this conversation.
These fans will literally die over. Like they're literally like.
You lost IQ points just hearing that shit.
Bro, I got dumber. Literally, I got dumber. Like, is he really trying the footwork and the speed of Gervonta?
I mean, you really got to admire these fans because they're really willing to die over to go over a cliff.
Did they, man? It was like the gerbils going over the cliff, man.
Bro, like I said,
the lemmings, I should say.
It's insane to me that boxing is the only sport where that don't happen in MLB. You know, it don't happen in the NBA. It don't happen in the NFL. Only in boxing do you hear just the dumbest shit on earth.
Jules, I'm gonna put myself on camera right quick. This is how I feel after hearing that.
Go ahead. For real? Yo, for real? Do it again. Bruh. That'd be like saying Keith Thurman. That would be like saying Keith Thurman beats Leonard.
Oh, shit.
That would be like saying Keith Thurman beats Danny Garcia beats Leonard. Because the speed and the power
and the footwork.
Villain
is key.
Oh my god!
Will you say it again?
The footwork.
Okay.
I got a question for you, gentlemen. Which one is more delusional? A fan claiming that Tank is a better fighter than Duran, or a fan saying that today now Tank Davis will be a Hall of Famer in boxing? Which one's more delusional?
Yo, dog, there's no standard anymore, bro. That's why I don't like when it be spaces on Twitter. Unless I start the space, I don't even want motherfuckers talking to me, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, I don't have time to talk dumb shit. If you don't know who Duran is, right? The logical thing to do, don't even talk. I'm not going to say nothing good. I'm not going to say nothing bad because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking. That's a common sense thing. And I maintain it's a lot of people today, not exclusive to this boxing shit. They just want to talk. They want to act like you want to act like you know the speed and the foot. What are you talking against?
So are you saying that's better than Duran's?
Listen, you know what? You know how many fights Gervonta Davis has at 135?
Against who? Like
that's it. And you compare, and I'm supposed to sit here and listen to you and compare these 3 fights that he has at lightweight to Duran.
Let me tell you something about Roberto Duran. He beats everybody who Tank fought in one night
at the same time.
Exactly.
One after the other.
On that note, I need to go to sleep because
real quick to top it off, Duran was going 15 rounds most of the time too.
I don't think he knows there was an era of boxing where you fought for 15 rounds.
He probably thought it was 2.
If you could do me a favor, Julius, I need you between your relays. I need you to go back and I need you to study the footwork of Tank Davis because I'm thinking that potentially you're missing out on the quality of the footwork that's gonna really gonna set him apart from that only punching Duran. So do me a favor, get some homework. I need you to go in and dissect footwork.
Rob, talk about someone who's gonna go to hell for a statement.
Villain. I'll do you one better. I'll do you one better. Like, you know, Tank versus Sugar Ray. I mean, come on, fellas. We all know Sugar Ray Leonard was just a hype job.
Yeah, he was just a hype job, bro.
That's it. He beat nobody. Like
that
you know?
shit. No, because you know what would have had? He was going to sit there and tell me. You saw my opinion, bro. How many times do I say this? If we're just gonna talk about opinions, the only opinion on this planet that I give a fuck about
is yours.
So if you can't give me some facts to affect my opinion, I don't need to hear anything you have to say.
Well, what was funny is he tried to argue and then finally came out and said, "Okay, I don't know about Duran."
Didn't I say before he came on? I said I don't want to waste my time because this guy does not know Duran. I said I'm trying to be kind. I'm trying to be. I know you don't know who Duran is, and that's okay. It's a lot of old fighters. A lot of people are not familiar with. That's okay. When it's not okay is when you try to argue about the shit.
You made the effort.
Oh, God.
You know the thing that perplexes me the most, not even just when it has to do with boxing, is we now have more access to information today at our fingertips, but yet when I feel like I interact with people, they're dumber than they were 25 years ago, and we
yes,
didn't
they
have
are.
this accent.
Yep.
Yes, they are. because they're too lazy to watch. If I tell him, look, go watch Duran versus De Jesus, he's not gonna watch it. He's not. Duran versus, he's not gonna watch it. None of them fights.
He thinks he knows better.
He thinks he doesn't have to, and more importantly, he thinks he doesn't have to research what we're talking about to talk about it. If that ain't about a, oh my God, like, fam, why are you even talking about it then? I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep. I gotta go to sleep behind that.
Gentlemen, have a good evening. Nice talking to you.
Have a great evening, guys. Jules,
right,
thanks
man,
for
yeah.
having me on.
Woosah, Jules.